Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello. It's that crazy Hightower, those crazy Hightower hijinks. I'd take one Hightower sword against three of those Riverlanders. Or are they Hightower savages? If you're asking Daron off camera, wow, that was a candid conversation. Yes, and we've got lots to talk about. We've got lots of people in the live chat. We've got some super chats coming in already. I've got two great guests. And we've got a lot of people sneaking up on armies, so we're going to discuss camp security. It's a real problem. We're going to have a meeting about it. And talk about respecting your employees. Damon, got a few things to review here. And thanks to all of our patrons. Thanks to everyone joining us today. You can see their names here. And that's me. And this is us. Welcome to Stella Graves and Girl Nettles.
Hi, everyone. Woo! We got another one. I got a little dose of my medicine.
This is my Alice Rivers Lady of the Water.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
I don't need much. Actually, it's what it really is it's promo for my upcoming video this week. History of White Harbor. Lots of mermaid stuff coming. Merman. Lots of merman memes. But we're here to talk about House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 6, as it were. We are setting up the penultimate episode. I will just remind our panel of esteemed book knowledge readers that we are going to go no book spoilers until the end when we give the warning. We try every week. We usually fail. We'll do our best. And so, Estella, you have cosplayed as Rhaenyra, and so I will give you first stab at what moved you from this episode, and then we'll dive into some super chats. I'll ask the same of Nettles, and then we'll dive into some of these super chats. We'll be guided by you guys what to talk about.
Yeah. So, what moved me this episode specifically?
Yeah. What was yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think there were a lot of very kind of tender, heartfelt moments that were kind of sad this episode. Specifically, Helena asking Alicent, "Why did you marry me to Aegon? Was there no one else that wanted me?" That's arrow to the heart. I felt so bad for her. I was so just, the writing is on the wall for this character, and I'm so sad.
She asked a lot of tough questions today. She really did. Yes.
Yeah. I didn't think of that, but that's a good one. Yeah.
A tender moment with Alan and Bela.
Yeah.
That was one us book readers knew that was coming in some form, so here it is.
That moment between Daron and Gawain as well, where he was like, "Please don't leave me alone with Ormond anymore."
Oh my God, dude. That was my scene of the week for sure. That one shook me to the core. I was like, show us on the diagram where he touches you, okay? Like this is so bad. It doesn't appear to be a sexual thing, but it's every other kind of creepy.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, for everyone who really liked Ormond the past couple episodes of like, yeah, this guy's kind of an evil, fun little freak. Now everyone's like, ooh, he's an actual little freak. Ooh,
Gwaine looking great this week too, in comparison. So we'll dive into that. That's a very interesting dynamic for sure. Nettles, what made you feel something this episode? Was it the slap? Was it Rhaena getting slapped by Jane Arryn?
I felt nothing in my cold heart. She could do that all day. I do not care. Someone said in the comments, like, what's the point of Rhaena's plot? And I'm there with you. They've lost the plot to me. But that was a good moment. I guess something that it didn't take me out of it, but it kind of made me think. A scene was when we finally wanted Hugh to see Hugh and his wife, and I feel like I didn't like that scene. Like I could not identify with her because I'm like, so you're a woman like living in medieval times, and your husband now is able to protect you in a way that, like, I mean, come on, like, I would have been so happy to see him. Like, if my brother just died and I thought he was dead, I'd be like, the way she delivered that line, like, I thought you were dead. She was like mad. She's like, I'm mad that you're not dead. Like, what are you doing here? Like, instead of being like, I just lost my brother. I thought you were dead. Now I have another family member. Like, being happy about that. It was just straight to like,
I know you would have had a different reaction, Nettles, in her position. We all know that you would have been like,
yeah.
yes.
I've been like, yeah, like, get me out of here. Let's climb back your dragon and go somewhere safe. This place is horrible. I would be so happy. Like, this is the equivalent of your husband bringing back like $100 billion home. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't see why she is pushing you away. I just don't identify with it.
I do understand the reaction. It did seem hasty. Estella, go to you, though.
I was gonna say as well, the reaction didn't quite work for me from her. It felt a little bit like we're adding a little bit of extra TV drama, because again, I was like, yeah, what? This just doesn't feel like a real reaction a person would have just so instantly of like, I hate you and don't want to be around you at all and get away from me. I was like, it felt like they were trying to really speed run the relationship conflict to get to where we need to go.
Yeah.
And
I think if they had shown her like having a bad time, not that I'm not, let me just correct, I'm not calling for more SA scenes or anything like that, but what I'm saying is that when she busted out and been like, all the stuff's happened to me on the road, that's the first we've heard of it. So for us, it's not been set up that she's like feels deserted or whatever. You can sort of understand what they're trying to do. You know, she's been left alone. Her brother is dead. She has apparently suffered deprivations, you know, all that stuff. And, you know, like, oh, you've been on Dragonstone winning yourself a dragon and stuff like that. Like, you could sort of understand what they're trying to do, but I agree with both of you that it's kind of thrown together here. It wasn't set up very well, and so it was a little bit hard to buy. Broke my immersion a little bit almost. Like, this is not working for me, kind of.
Well, and I was going to say, they make it almost seem like before that, like, Hugh and his wife were in communication of, like, oh, she went to Tumbleton, there was nothing for her here. So to find out, oh, no, there's been no communication. She has thought that he's been dead this whole time.
Right.
Like, it would have been nice to see something of her mentioning, like, my husband's dead, or, you know, he left me, or something. But we didn't. It made it seem like she kind of knew what he was doing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't clear. To your point, I was never clear on whether or not they had ever, like, if he had sent her word after claiming the dragon. It just seems like he could have done that in all that time, but I guess we were supposed to understand that they hadn't talked. So with a better setup, it might have made more sense. But yeah, okay. So, well, it hurt me just because Hugh looked really bad in that exchange just towards the end, obviously, trying to force her. Oh, I'm going to save your life against your will type of thing. It's in every time travel movie. You're trying to save people. Like, no, I know what's going to happen. They're like, stop touching me. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I did, the thing that moved me the most definitely was Gwaine and Daron having the off-record conversation. You know, I mean, there were so many. It was like, you know what he's like. You left me alone with him. I hate myself with him. I guess I remember all these lines. Yeah, it was very disturbing. And even Daron saying, I'll never be king. You know that. Like, he's so afraid of Ormond and telling Ormond what he doesn't want to hear that he's literally just going along with this charade of like, yeah, we're going to beat all these dragons and I'm going to sit the Iron Throne. And he doesn't believe that it's rational, which means that Daron is more grounded in reality than Ormond is.
Well, and Ormond had a line too where when he was talking about Corlys and Rhaenyra choosing Corlys as her hand, she was like, oh, that's someone who's never grasping. And I'm like, Corlys, who we've seen multiple times trying to further his family's like station in line. Like,
have you considered my 12-year-old daughter, Your Grace? I know you've got a bit of leprosy, but she's very pretty.
To me, it feels like it was to show that Ormond is actually a little out of touch with reality. He is a little off base with some of these things, and maybe people like Gwaine and Daron actually are a little bit more tuned in to the writing on the wall.
And this is consistent with somebody that uses their anger to bully people, is that only yes men are left around you, only fools and flatterers, so no one checks you on reality. The one thing that doesn't fit with that is bold John Roxton never like speaking up to Ormond. That guy obviously has a big sword and knows how to swing it. But I guess he's just an NPC as far as like he's just, you know, taking orders and killing people or whatever. He did kill some people, though. And he abducted Lord Corliss at the end, which is a WTF a bit. Interesting.
Yeah. There were a lot of moments that were either like new or things that I had forgotten from Fire and Blood. Like maybe there were some of these things in Fire and Blood, but there were a lot of little moments that felt like new, either slight changes or additions to me that I thought were interesting. And I'd be curious to hear some of y'all's thoughts on these.
Well, you mentioned tender moments, and we didn't even bring up Vermithor and Silverwing, canon, cuddling, and nuzzling.
Yes.
They gave us that. We did get that. That was sweet.
Very sweet.
Yeah, bold John Roxton kind of just takes orders. So we'll see. We'll see. He does kill people well. And so let's go ahead and check out some of the super chats that have come in already. Appreciate y'all. Cool. If there's anything in Fire and Blood about dragon eggs at Harrenhal, no. This is something they invented, but the canon behind that is canon. Like, yes, Rhaena and Dreamfire lived there for like 15 years or something, was it?
Yeah.
Good bit of time.
Yeah.
Dreamfire's a known egg layer. Like, it very believable. It's not something that existed already, but it's a pretty good, if we're gonna like add on to the story, like that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll plug my video. I have a video called Dreamfire is a SLUT. And I don't know if that's going to get demonetized, so I didn't want to say it.
Thanks for spelling it out. No, I appreciate that.
Dreamfire is a that, and it basically just starts from like all the dragons that Dreamfire slept with, and like tracking down like basically Dany's 3 eggs came from Dreamfire. But it goes through Dreamfire's extremely long life where she was exposed to all the male dragons and all the moments she could have like laid eggs and where she was, so where those clutches might possibly be.
So, and you mentioned Harrenhal?
Yeah, I believe so. I did that video like a couple years ago.
That's sick. Well, there it was. 5, 2, 5. Wow, that's a lot. And so I'm pretty sure Ormond has...
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, it makes me wonder what is going to happen. I mean, we can talk about it later, but what is going to happen with these 5 eggs? Because, I mean...
Well, this is one where even the Fire and Blood knowledge doesn't help us because Fire and Blood leaves off at a certain point. We will go into this in the spoiler section so we can talk about what we do know. But it's a big cliffhanger with Alice Rivers and Aemond and, you know, all that stuff. So, yeah, we'll definitely return to that in the spoiler section. They're cooking a little bit there. That was... starting to get a feel for Alice Rivers, where before she was a little NPC, was just like, oh, I've got dreams for sale. You know what I mean? Like now we see some motivations and stuff. So we will talk about all that for sure. Pretty sure Ormond has OCD, given his anxiety and panic at smells. He's definitely a sensitive soul. I'll say that. And credit to Maynard Plum, my YouTube guru helper guy. He noticed that they used the stinky soldiers to distract Ormond. You know how he was kind of zoning out in that scene, like the sound got all weird? That's because they were so stinky.
Yep. They utilized the
I didn't catch that.
So
I didn't either. And so that we knew somehow it would come into play. Now, who do we think sent that? Was it the Baratheons that did that to win Rhaenyra's loyalty?
They were posing as Baratheons.
I feel like if Rhaenyra had known, we would have seen that.
I'm like, do we think that the Baratheons that came to visit her there in King's Landing, she was like, I'm taking all your clothes real quick and I'm sending my own message to...
Oh, okay. Yeah. At the very end of the scene, they're like, well, if there's anything I can do to help you. And she kind of got to look like,
Yeah.
Okay, so she did send it then. Yeah, she did. That's what we did. Gwaine bats for the other team. That's kind of an antiquated terminology. But yes, confirmed. Gwaine is, taking comfort with the soldiers. Ormond sort of trying to shame him for it. But a funny line with Gwaine lifting up his head going, and as it happens, he was a lot more comely than this guy. I would notice. And he put his head back down. Like, that was funny. But yeah, the tension with Kristen and Gwaine from last week, we now can say, yes, that's what that was, right? I just want to check on the chat and make sure it's not crashing out.
Yeah, people joking that Kristen fumbled Rhaenyra, Alicent, and now Gawain, and so that feels now.
That's true, actually, kind of. Yeah.
Terrible.
He really came off looking great in this episode, you know. He was the first one to figure out what was going on, pulled his sword, cut the guy's throat, you know, and Ormond's like, no, what's going on? And Gawain's like, these are assassins. By the way, we are fighting for our lives right now. Please pick up a weapon.
Yeah. And then Ormond, I mean, just to top it off in the scene, just barfing at the end, just to really showcase it's like how, you know, he talks a lot of big game, but then when it comes to it, it seems kind of like he flounders at the last minute. So
I thought of South Park when Stan sees with the girl he has a crush on. He always pukes because he's nervous. Anyway,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I don't even remember the kids' damn names. It's been so freaking long. But yeah, the belt. She's like, "Let me see your belt." That's what that was. She was like, "Yeah, take your clothes."
Okay.
She should have said, "Take your clothes off right now." Like that would have been the cliffhanger. But Wendy,
Yeah.
okay, it is Wendy. Thank you. Yeah. So back to the super chats here. I kind of like going off the super chats at the beginning because it's getting us right to the hot topics. I will heart this comment. I'll ask you to use better framing next time. That's kind of tacky, but whatever. Butcher's Ball was simple and raw. While they didn't have the line, the quiet shots of the arrows seemed to emphasize the line. Cole died quickly and pathetically. Symbolically, I think it works. The audience infers it all. Yeah, I kind of feel like Black Alley said the line and then they just cut it or something, you know? And just so you guys, if you haven't read the books, in the books, that, you know, when he's pumped full of arrows, I think it's Garibald Gray, or one of them says, "I'll have no songs sung of how bravely you died, Kingmaker." And I thought they were setting that up last week when he's like, "They'll sing songs about us and Alicent will hear them." And then they didn't give us the payoff line. So I was kind of not sure why.
I will say that handkerchief, as he was lying there, instead of it being an A for Alicent, it was an A for Allie. Allie got you, boo. You're out of here, Kristen, with that handkerchief.
Yep.
Has she had one speaking line?
Huh?
During the fish feed song, she sang some lines. But that was about it.
That was probably overdubbed anyway. Lame.
Yeah.
They do that sometimes. They give us the book character, and it's just like an appearance. Like, oh, there they are. And that's about it. Butcher's Ball was... Sorry, was that?
No, just adding to them. Like, they just say their name. Like, and Robin was there. Like, just, okay.
Thanks, River Mist Faye, for the gift memberships. Surprising to see Daron. Yeah, at least a decent swordsman there. He's giving it out in the yard. He does seem like a good lad. Honestly, like if that was if you had a king on the throne and he was your crown prince, like you'd feel pretty good. Yeah, it seems like a good kid.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like this episode gave more context to how he feels, because I saw people saying in his introduction that he was like weak or spineless or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, that's how abuse works. It's very clear that he has been not in good care with Ormond, and we're seeing that even though he's a dragon rider, he has been made to feel defenseless, you know. So, and I feel like we really see that with his interactions with Gawain, and Gawain saying like, you know, you are gonna be the king, you're a dragon rider, and you can just see he still just doesn't feel empowered.
Yeah. I mean, to be a dragon rider and to be begging, that indicates a crazy level of abuse. Like, because we know the dragons make you more boastful and prideful. Let's not forget Aemon with the first time Aemon came off that dragon going 100. So it's like that's been beaten out of him. That's crazy.
Well, now we can really understand. Sorry, finish your sentence.
I was like metaphorically beaten. I don't know if the level, like what type of abuse it is, but
well, we were all picking up on the symbolism of Tessarion being chained and like chomping at the bit to get at Ormond. It's like, okay, you know, the dragon side of Daron's personality is chained and repressed, and like there is an anger against Ormond inside there, and we saw it this week, like confirmed. Yeah, he hates that guy. He hates Ormond. There's no question.
Yeah. And even if it's not like him physically hitting Daron, I get the vibe that Ormond would have like a whipping boy for Daron of like, oh, I'm gonna let you befriend a squire or something and like teach you a lesson. Like it just feels very clear that he is, and I think they even said on one of the Inside the Episodes that he is very on reward and punishment for Daron.
So what is Frankie's asking the question, what was Darren hinting at when he told Gwaine, I've been able to keep him from trail off, you know? Is he talking about like just losing his temper? Or was like, is there something darker that's being implied there?
That's what I thought, but my partner thought it was something darker. So I think it's maybe up for interpretation. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Um, I initially thought something like assault or something, but then I was thinking of something like kill my dragon. Like maybe he threatens to have Tessarion killed or something if he, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a reference to sexual assault. It could be. I feel like they should clarify that, but it's yeah, it could. I mean, it could refer to just him losing his temper, like like freaking out, having a freak out,
Yeah.
throwing stuff. Yeah, but it's certainly. I guess I'm wanting to not believe, but yeah, it's not ruled out at all.
Yeah.
Wow,
Either
that's
way, not great.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Either way, dark and not great, no matter what
Yes,
it is.
dark or darker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people want it to be either thing. Really, it's just a matter of trying to interpret a line that is ambiguous in a situation that is
Yeah.
obviously menacing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So right, that's what I was trying to connect it with. Is Ormond is bullying Gwaine over being gay? So is that a thing where he's closeted but assaults other men, or like?
Yeah, maybe it's to show again that kind of hypocrisy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, with how much SA is in this show, I would like it to not be that, but I can understand why people would interpret it that way.
Yeah.
It could, yeah, that could fit together, but I could also see it that like, yeah, we'll just have to see if they give us more on that. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Let me go. I'm sorry. I think we've covered it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's very uncomfortable. They have accurately depicted an abusive, uncomfortable relationship, and the actors are pulling it off, and it feels uncomfortable. I'll say that. I hate Ulf, Adam, and Daron not having white hair. Ulf has.
Daron might.
Well, it's hard to tell with Ulf. His hair is gray, but it looks like, I think it's just supposed to be like faded silver, like not the shiniest silver,
Yeah.
suiting his bastard heritage. I don't know why Adam doesn't. And I don't know that it matters that much with Daron, but Daron did ask about his mother at the end, which shows you he remembers that he has a mother, which was something.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Corliss's gallows tree. Yeah, he was stringing up the dead bodies, just I guess as a message. But yeah, he really was into it. Like he was into the work. He was like, "We're hanging people. Yeah, this is great."
Yeah.
Pretty grisly.
Yeah, and then at the end he seemed kind of resolved to go back to King's Landing, like he was ready. So.
And then John Roxton teleported there, and he was there. Yeah. And what happened to those Vlarion men? Are they dead now? Did they die silently in the woods? Was Corlys standing out there for like 5 hours and everyone went to bed and he's just like spacing out? That happened really quick. I didn't notice that there was a time cue I was supposed to notice.
I don't know. Yeah, it seemed very quick. I'm assuming we'll find out in the next few episodes, hopefully. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it was that was quick. Corlys is not going to be dead. He's going to be abducted.
Mm-hmm.
Bold sure. John Roxton is fold John Roxton. He folded space, and he did. He had the Baelish teleporter.
Yeah, one thing I'll say is there were a lot of questions answered. I felt like this was kind of like studying for the test episode, because so many of the things like in the fandom we've been asking, like one of them being why did Alicent, who said that the Targaryens have queer customs, choose to marry her daughter to her son? Like whose idea was that? So like they gave us that answer. There was a few others.
Can you stop on that one? Because that one's pretty interesting. Do you feel like Alicent maybe wanted to keep Helena close to her so she could protect her? Is that part of the thinking?
I mean, it's what she says in the episode.
Yeah, because in Alicent's mind, she got shipped to another castle, right? Like maybe she misses Old Town or something, but she got shipped to another castle. It happened to be the best castle, King's Landing, but like and had to learn a whole nother culture, custom family, all that stuff, and fit in. And so she was like, she assumed that Helena would hate that. But that's the thing is like Helena's not you, Alicent. Helena might thrive in another environment if Helena had, went somewhere else, somewhere peaceful or full of animals. Like take her to the zoo, which
animals.
Kingdom has a zoo.
Well, and yeah, you see Alicent directly says like, oh, I thought it would be best, knowing how you are, I thought it would be better to keep you here with me where I can, watch out for you than to have you be somewhere else with some, lord you don't know. And then as we see in the episode though, like Helena doesn't really seem to like being around Alicent that much. It's like everything she does, Helena is like, this is actually worse for me. You are constantly accidentally happenstance making it worse for me. So.
And one of the things that we were worried about is like showing someone with the tism or like coded some way is to not infantilize them. And you see that Helena has been because I think what Helena was also asking was like, why didn't you ask me?
Yeah.
Like who I wanted to marry. Or it's because you see me as like just too low for even that. Like in your eyes, Alicent, like I'm too whatever to even be able to make a decision about who I spend the rest of my life with.
Yeah.
Alicent saw that Rhaenyra got to choose. So you can't say like, oh, she's never heard of like the princess being able to choose. Like, no, like Viserys said she could choose. So like, I don't know why she wouldn't give that to Helena.
Yeah. Even though Alicent obviously cares a lot about Helena, you're right that like she sees her mostly as a child to protect in the way that parents often see you as a child even when you're an adult. And it's more so in this situation where Helena is actually more competent and obviously perceptive than people give her credit for. It was interesting to hear Alicent refer to Helena's prophetic gifts, like, well, the things that she sees, they come true. So she has been paying attention. And if you watch the preview of next week, there's Rhaenyra in an uncomfortable, tense conversation with Helena, sort of grabbing her arm, like, tell me what you know. Like, we're going to get some, Rhaenyra, that we saw her, she's a dreamer. Like, she was interested in that.
I'm dressed as Daenerys. I'm college girl Daenerys. Tried out.
Well, shouted out Daenerys too. I mean, she mentioned her by name, which was really cool. So
yeah, but that's another example of like one of the questions that we had answered, and we just talked about that last week. We asked like, how much does Alicent know about Helena's gifts, and why wouldn't she? And my answer was that she didn't know anything because she would be using it. Turns out she does know, and she's still not using it.
She's kind of afraid of it or doesn't trust it, even though she knows like she sees some stuff. Yeah, something like that.
Well, it kind of reminds me of her line of like, oh, well, you Targaryens have queer customs. It kind of feels like Alicent tries to keep any Valyrian Targaryenness at arm's length when she has Valyrian Targaryen children. And so because Helena's dreams don't really seem like anything like faith ordained, maybe she just kind of was like, I just am gonna ignore this because I don't understand it and it's too strange for me to really perceive, is the vibe I got.
Yeah, she's only ever been halfway comfortable with any of it at best. Yeah. So, and I think that contributes to the reason why she's so quick to cast off Aegon and Aemond. Is like, oh, they're crazy dragon riders, what can you do, kind of thing. It's like, oh, they're your children. I think that I just want to say that Olivia Cook / the directing team, they're doing a consistent character thing with Alicent that I have noticed now, where when she gets called on her lies, she kind of pauses for a second and then she says, oh, and then moves on. Like she has this way of like dismissing it and then pivoting almost like a politician. It's very slick, but it's also a little deer in the headlights, like she's trying to avoid accountability to herself. And she really cooked her. First, Helena cooked her for lying about the kid being at the end of the hallway, which was another hanging question, like, oh, was there really...
Hey.
Go ahead. There wasn't.
Just saying yes.
Yeah, no. So that was a lie. And then we, asking her, whose idea was it for me to marry Aegon? And then she was knitting some sort of thing about Aemond at Harrenhal and like lying in a womb or something. Like,
yeah, it looked very Yonic. It looked very...
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and I would love to see a screenshot of that to like really zoom in on what was going on there, because it looked like there was a woman kind of towering over him that I'm like, oh, that must be Alice. And I'm like, is Helena embroidering the intro, the tapestry intro?
I think so. I've seen videos about that, like different screenshots of her knitting, and then like it looks like what you see. People, yeah.
You're being called out. It's embroidery. Don't call it knitting. You're offending people. Somebody's offending people.
Help.
Stop.
But it makes me wonder if that embroidery is going to be in the intro for the next few episodes.
Yeah, I don't know that it's literally a one-to-one, but certainly like we could think of the intro as something that she might have done. Yeah.
She's telling the story. It looked like Alicent eating her children. That's what I thought it was.
I want to go take a look and study. I only got a quick look at it. Yeah.
Interesting. I like that. Almost like a Saturn devouring suns type thing.
But it was circular, like how the dragon emblem is, like the dragon eating its tail. Because she was like crouched like in the circle, and it's like she's like eating a child.
Well, in the next preview of next week, we see Alice warning Aemond about Alicent, saying she bears you some bad intent, or there's a cloud of deception around her, some psychic warning type deal. So they're developing the Alicent children relationship like long into season 3 here. I think it's pretty interesting, honestly, because they gave us all this stuff, like her abandoning Aegon at the end of last season, and we're like, what, WTF, Alicent? Like, what is this? At least they didn't just do that and move on. Like, they're exploring this messed up dynamic where each kid thinks they're the least favorite, and Aemon's got the mommy issues, and Aegon is still burned up at his brother and his parents, and like Helena and Alicent's relationship is fracturing. And Ormond, Otto, where do I even start with Otto? What was he going to say about Otto?
Wouldn't we like to know?
Yeah.
Wouldn't we like to know? I mean, it sounds like, he was gonna, I think Ormond thinks that he's the smartest person in his family. He thinks he's the smartest, best game player. And I think even from this episode, with what Gawain has showed us, it's like, that's not entirely true. Ormond does have a bit of hubris going on there.
Yeah. If you remember in season 1, we saw, what's Ormond's dad? Hobart Hightower talking to Otto, and he was talking to him like the little brother, like, you're the screw up of the family. You've never done anything right.
Oh,
like,
that's Ormond's father. You're so right about that.
Yeah. And so it seemed like he was saying, like, put the kids on the throne. Like, why haven't you done it yet? Like, so that is another thing to remember that kind of hints at like the Hightower conspiracy, like of putting not Daron, but like their line on the throne, like even since then. And it's like Otto was the puppet in that scene. And so Hobart is Ormond's dad. So his whole life he's been hearing Otto's the screw up.
You're exactly right. He's been hearing Hobart talk smack about him. And now we know it's like, oh, Ormond wasn't returning Otto's letters. Like, yeah, he's just like, yeah, whatever. He's not even answering. Like, damn.
Otto's the second son. Remember that. People think Otto inherits because he's at King's Landing. Was like, no, he's the second son because he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have no house. Yeah. Otto was homeless all this time, guys. He was crashing. He's that friend that crashes on your couch for too long. That's what he was to Viserys. Because
Hobart's not son. Hobart. No, I think it is Hobart with an A, isn't it?
That's what I thought.
Doesn't matter. Hobart. That's just a pronunciation difference.
Yeah.
Hobart.
It's a dumb name either way. No offense to any Hobarts that are out there today. I don't think there's too many. But yeah, he was ready to uncork on Otto. He just has so much shit to talk, Ormond. Like he is a little bee. Like he's just got that mouth on him, you know?
Yeah. He's shady for sure.
There was a. I wish I could get these super chats in real time. It's just moving too fast. Did Alice say Rhaena is Aemon's ancestor? What?
She mentioned Rhaena.
Oh, Dreamfire Rhaena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she would be. Yeah.
Yeah. She mentioned her coming to Harrenhal.
No. Jaehaerys and Alysanne, that's where the Targaryen lies. So no. I mean, is that an ancestor? That still is, even if the line doesn't.
Yeah. You know.
Some geneticists in the.
They definitely share blood.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's not direct lineage ancestor, I mean, like, you know, aunts, uncles, cousins. I mean, those are all your ancestors, right?
Yeah.
I would consider that.
Do you guys think Helena knows about the PWB prophecy? She might be sussing out parts of it at the very least. She sees a lot of stuff. We'd have to study all of her scribbles on the wall. I think Dany was in there a bit, in her chalk drawings.
Yeah.
And
she probably has some notion.
When she hijacked Daemon's dream, it seemed like there was that Dany scene. Well, I don't know.
We shouldn't be surprised if she does. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Also reminds you know what you must do, so it seems like she is aware of. I would think she's aware of what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Ulf reminds me of hot pie. No, Ulf remembers hot pies. He was recalling the great parts of King's Landing, and he mentioned the hot pies. I wrote that down. Being a knight means getting a castle like wearing armor makes a knight. And he said hot pie. Valid, Jennifer, valid. Reading Rhaegar, Ulf just wants to drink with the lads. They said the lads. You've got a video, Estella, about the lads who are people that didn't appear in this show but could have.
Yeah, people who have barely appeared in this show. And, I mean, we kind of saw some of them in this episode, but they're
Oscar,
really not
Oscar served a bit. Yeah. He served a bit. Yeah, he got the Traitor's Bones lines that I believe is Garibald Gray, or is that who says that one? Doesn't matter.
Whatever. I don't remember that one.
I swore a vow to build a sept of Traitor's Bones. I don't have enough bones.
Yeah.
Ulf just wants. So yeah, indeed. So the Ulf thing is a problem, obviously. Daemon, treating your employees like. He's right that Ulf needs to be reined in, but he's not doing a good job of that.
No, I mean, was it his like doublet at the end of the episode that said like, a kick?
I was wondering if it was Ulf's, yes, which means
because it jingled quite a bit in a way that sounded like Hugh's armor, but I was like, this sounds more like something Ulf would write.
I was wondering about that too. I assume we'll find out next week what's come of that. But humiliating Ulf and Fleabottom. Like that meant more to him than the dragon almost. Like the dragon is just a way for him to be popular in Fleabottom. Like what's the point of having a dragon if people can't see it? That's what he said.
Yeah, right?
So Daemon has just like really offended him. Just this is bad.
Yeah. Well, I think it's been building. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think it's been building, We've seen Ulf feel slighted multiple times now, and then now very publicly, and so I think this was just the final straw for him, whether or not you think that makes him justified in what he does, but I think it's no surprise that it's happening. Because he does tell Hugh, doesn't he? He's like, oh, I'll see you in a couple days' time, and I think no, I don't think he's going to do what he's supposed to do, what he's been stationed to do.
You have to think about what people's motivations are. It's like you gave Ulf a dragon, and now you're just assuming that he's going to just obey you because you hooked him up with the dragon. Like, he has a dragon. Mm-hmm. He's a dragon lord.
And they have that line about people, like, I'm going to say it wrong, but, like, up-jumping their claim of, like, people who strive. And they show Hugh, but it really felt kind of like they were talking about Ulf a little bit, where it's like, oh, someone who strives will always want more for one reason or another of all these things. And it's like, Ulf is like, oh yeah, my life is better. I get to live in, King's Landing, but what's the point? We see that he wants more.
Yeah, the spies were watching all of that stuff with Daemon and Ulf. There was a couple people in the crowd that we were supposed to notice. And obviously it was very public at that point. So that was bad. That was a big misstep by Daemon. And you could tell, like, he's pissed. Like, he just had a bunch of his men killed and then a bunch of others deserted. And he has problems now that he can't solve. He's full of rage. So that's why he blundered so badly. But that certainly was a blunder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and with the Gold Cloaks too, I mean, we're seeing that love is the death of duty. Family is the death of duty. They're like, we have to think about our families before we think about not being paid and then being killed. And it feels, again, kind of like a similar story with Ulf, where he's like, no, I got to think about me first and me seeing my friends and going to the tavern and doing these things before his duty, is kind of the vibe I'm getting from him.
Let me get a quick mic check here. I was too loud before. Guys, am I in better balance, or do I still need to come down a little more? Just let me know. And please always do let me know if there's anything like that. It is my goal to provide an enjoyable auditory experience. Too low. I'm too low now? All right. Let's get back up. And we'll try that. How's that? All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being on top of that. And let's go back to the questions here. We might go back to Ulf in the spoiler section. There's a few things to talk about. Yeah, Ormond talking about breeding. It's talking about Corlys, but it's just like, this is a guy that talks about IQ and breeding, good breeding, and yeah, we know the type. He's some sort of supremacist. He thinks high towers are better than everyone or something. It doesn't really matter. Is Helena the one sewing the quilt in the intro? We just talked about that. Maybe. It's either kind of, sort of, or yes. Like, there's obviously meant to be a connection. What happened to fake Daron? I'm feeling sympathy for Alicent more than I have since season 1. What would you do to survive? Well, she's lying to her kids a lot. I mean, Helena said it to her, like, were you trying to save me or save you? And she's like, does it really matter? And that's what I mean by, like, brushing off and dismissing. She's like, does it matter? You know, like, whatever. Whatevs. Yeah, it does matter. I don't really feel sympathy for her. She's just lying up one wall and down the other.
Yeah. Alicent, I feel like is doing too much. I don't feel sympathy because you've got the best possible outcome. You're in King's Landing and you're safe. And Rhaenyra's being so nice to you. That's what Rhaenyra was saying this whole time. She's like, are you serious? She's like, oh, you're taking her freedom. No, you had freedom, Alicent. Like, I said running was a bad move from the get-go, so.
And Rhaenyra is still trying to, like, help her cover up Helena's pregnancy for the safety of the child. Like, she is still very sympathetic to Alicent. But
when Rhaenyra said, like, we're gonna change her accommodations, I thought she meant like black cells, prison. She was like, double guards. I'm like, oh, so they're staying in the same, like, lavish royal bedroom.
Yeah. And then Alicent still had almost the audacity to basically still just ask, what are we? Like, you know, she was like, oh, you know, everyone thinks you're my high tower enemy. And she's like, and to you? And she was like, and I think Rhaenyra said, like, basically, don't even try me. She was like, do not do this right now. We're not even going there. And I'm just like, yeah, Alicent is really just trying to push her leeway with Rhaenyra, her relationship of being like, but it's me. It's Alicent, please, you know.
Yeah, just Summer's bringing up a good point to button up on that scene. Ray, Mysaria lied to Rhaenyra about knowing about this and lied again this week. Oh, yeah, no, I had no idea. So, what, like...
Yeah, I wrote down that in my notes, like, hey, I don't care if you guys are mad at me. I'm going to say the same thing I said last week. Mysaria, you're fired. You're the worst. The worst mistress of whispers. Are you kidding me?
So what was she doing with that serving girl that she pointed out and was like, tell me when it's done?
Liar and a thief. Oh.
Was that a green spy then, right?
I didn't really catch that. Is it when she said liar and a thief?
Yeah, and she's pointing down into the courtyard at the at some serving woman that was talking to like a soldier or a squire or something.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't catch who that was. I thought she said that line because she's talking about herself. Because the scene before that is obviously that she's lying to Rhaenyra, but I didn't know what the thief was. Like, I don't know what Mysaria stole.
I think she was calling out one of the spies, I believe, is what was happening. No, and to go back to the super chat question, I think we will see fake Daron again. Some people think he might end up being one of the Game and Pale Hair or one of those other characters. I don't know how much of that stuff we're going to get, but we might see him around or we might not. There's a few book roles that he could be recycled into, is to answer the question.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because in Fire and Blood, I mean, Mazzari is kind of passed off as this like amazing master of whispers, like almost to the point where it's like, does she have powers or something? And then here we've seen her...
the tower.
Yeah, and it's like, and here we've seen her not really know much about the gold cloak situation, not really have her ear to the ground with the small folk being, I mean, she knows they're hungry and that's about it. But then, yeah, now lying to Rhaenyra about the pregnancy thing, which again, obviously we know she knew, but it makes her look incompetent to Rhaenyra. So it's like, yeah, she's not making herself look very valuable right now as a mistress of whispers. You're very right about that.
So the girl that I think the chat has this, the one that Mysaria has arrested, the maid girl, that's the one who was with Mysaria when she caught them with the moon tea. She knows about the moon tea. And so Mysaria is effectively covering her own lie to Rhaenyra by getting rid of the one person that knows about the lie.
Okay.
I think that's what's going on. And yes, the throne cut Rhaenyra. I knew they would do it sooner or later. They got around to it. Yes, they did. That was a... Boy, like, they do a good job of driving home the idea, like, you don't want to be in charge of stuff. Small council meeting, not fun. Hearing the petitioners in the throne room, not fun. It's not fun. Seems glorious, not fun.
With that, too, they talked about on the inside of the episode that, like, the throne cutting Viserys is what gave him his kind of degenerative disease. And so do you think that we're going to see something similar happening with Rhaenyra, of her needing to have a maester tend to it or something? Or do you think that they're just going to show her maybe being cut more?
If they're going to do... No, there's enough bad stuff. They don't need to give her tetanus, rabies, leprosy as well.
Westerosi, tetanus, leprosy.
Black scale. Some horrible thing. Yeah, I've been calling it leprosy.
Iron Throne disease.
Iron Throne disease, exactly. Helena calling Alicent out was amazing. Did Helena never know that Jace was offered to marry her? Oh, Helena would have been pissed if... Oh, that's what they were... She's like, was there no other lord that was... I didn't think of Jace.
I thought about that one little dance they have in season 1, and how she would have been so much happier.
Yeah, I talked about the political wisdom of that marriage, as has everyone else. Like, this may be one of the last off-ramps to avoid war. So people are like, oh, that just makes Helena a hostage. I think that would have gone a long way to preventing the war, because everybody's getting what they... Like, everybody's grandchildren is going to be queen or king or whatever, Queen wanted to keep dreaming clues to herself. Well, like I said, next week, Rhaenyra noticed that. She's interested. She's going to be interrogating Helena for sure. A little bit menacing when Rhaenyra was like, oh, I'll take care of her.
A little bit.
Yeah, she had kind of a vibe that was vaguely threatening. So.
Yes, I would say so. I would say so.
And someone in the chat mentioned how she was, when she was listening to the small folk, how not very helpful of like, oh, I'll light a candle next time I'm in the sept. You know, sorry, one of your people was stolen. You know?
That was like thoughts and prayers. Next.
Thoughts and prayers.
That was rough. Honestly, that was rough. She's like, she's 16 years old.
Yeah, I'm like, Rhaenyra, are you listening? Hello?
At least appear to care more.
Didn't hear.
Well, Helena pushing the needle into her finger, it almost looked like she had a splinter that she was trying to get. Was that just self-harm, or was there a splinter?
Self-harm.
I thought it was, like image of repetitive self-harm or something.
Join the club. So Alicent, Rhaenyra, Helena, all harming their fingers and hands in different
Aegon,
ways.
too, we see him picking at his fingers at certain points, like when he's on the throne. I think it's, nervous tick. Maybe.
Davos is all like, not a problem for me. Let's see. Alicent trusting Helena's safety to Rhaenyra. The reveal, Alicent had listened to her daughter all along, kept a secret to protect her. Yeah, we hit those already, but definitely things that raised an eyebrow this week. And, well, do we think Rhaenyra is going to use Helena's dreams for her own purposes? Will she be a chess piece before her demise? Yeah, the answer is yes.
Yes.
It's that...
worried if Helena has answers that Rhaenyra does not like. I feel like, she might, I don't think she'll do anything terrible, but I think if Helena has some answers she doesn't like, I feel like that conversation won't go well.
Yeah, I've seen a few stories with oracles and prophecies, and they are usually, you're better off not asking.
Yep. Feels very much like it'll be that type of a path.
It's sad what the wages of war have on the populace. Still happens to this day. They're doing a good job of getting that Feast for Crows message, I think. We've seen it threaded through most of these episodes, the cost to the common people. So yeah, they, Ryan and George obviously have had a falling out, but it's clear that Ryan understands like the themes of Ice and Fire, and also that themes are for more than book reports and that you should pay attention to them. So this is still, to me, better and closer to the books than Game of Thrones was, even if we're doing our own plot adventures here and there. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Did Alice say... We talked about that one. In the preview, Ormond says something about having something on the board to bring down the queen. Do we think he has the kids? So this question probably we could answer better in the spoiler section. It's hard for us to make any predictions that without spoilering. So Rhaenyra is going to start losing it again. The throne cut her, and I bet Helena isn't going to hold back when Rhaenyra presses her for info. Yeah, and kind of to go back to what I was saying a minute ago, I think anybody would lose it. Like, I don't want to be on that chair with all those people with all those problems. Like, no, I don't want to run that meeting either. And Daemon is he is not helpful in the meeting. Like, every meeting I'd be pulling him aside. I'd be like, can you support me better in the meeting and not like talk back? Like,
and Matt Smith has said that he's playing him petulant. Like, it's very on purpose that Daemon is restless. He is not happy with anything. But man, it feels like, hey, can we show a unified front, even in the small council? Like, maybe behind closed doors, you and me can bicker, but like, we need to look strong right now. And it's the same with like Corlys. I'm like, we all need to look like we have it together, guys. We need to really put on a strong front.
Yeah, they don't look like they have it together, do they?
No, I don't think any. Yeah.
Yeah, he threw the plate at Torrhen Manderly. They were all making remarks. What was that Sabbath? They were like, "Oh yes, dragons, famously surgically accurate in war, very careful." And was it torn with our magic? The dragon fire magically knows the virtuous from the. And he's like, plate.
Yeah. Yep. And with that, we got that mention of Aegon the Conqueror as well. And it's like, and prophecy of like, oh, anything you do, Rhaenyra, is justified because of the prophecy. And then we see Rhaenyra, again, hearkening back to Viserys and that constant struggle between leaning into that religious fervor or whatever it is that Emma Darcy has been saying versus Viserys, as almost her like moral guiding beacon, which is just interesting.
It is interesting because it's the Azor Ahai debate. It's the whole Stannis Davos debate. It's like, oh, well, the White Walkers, we got to fight the White Walkers. So what if we have to blood sacrifice one nephew of mine in order to save all the other kids? And Davos is like, but if you become the monster, what's the point of slaying the monster? We just have a new monster. Yes. And this is something that I feel like George believes in strongly. Even though a lot of people miss that message and they read the Azor Ahai myth and like, oh, well, sometimes you just have to blood magic murder people in order to save the day. And that's the message. Like, no, not the message. And so basically, we see Daemon using the prophecy as an excuse to do whatever he wants, as much violence as, be whatever. And it's like, you could approach it differently. You could say, the Targaryens need to have a secure dynasty until the long night comes, and the best way to do that is by governing well instead of being a tyrant. That's what I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
But it also does show you that, like, did Maegor know about the prophecy? Possibly. Every Targaryen is potentially going to act differently with that knowledge. Like, it could be a reason to govern well, or it could be a reason to be a tyrant. Which is often the case with religion, is it just empowers people to do what's in their heart anyway. Mm-hmm. That's why people emphasize different parts of the religions. You see like, oh, wait, no, you want to be doing this. Anyway, somebody reel me in. Back to I'm trying to get to here. There we go. We saw Vermithor and Silverwing cuddle. That made me so happy. Isn't it weird that Ormond likes Corlys? Isn't he just as Valyrian as the Targaryens? Yeah, Ormond's not very consistent. You know, he was extolling Maria Martell, the Yellow Toad, even though she's Dornish, and the Reach people hate the Dornish, and she's a woman. So, hard to say with that guy.
Yeah.
You kind of get the feeling like he might just say whatever to justify whatever he's saying in the moment and then move on and never come back to it.
That's the vibe I get. Yeah, it's very that kind of, again, like Hightower hypocrisy of like the ends justify the means as long as it is what I believe in and what I want is kind of the vibe.
Do you think Alicent was right to try to escape with Helena? And it was really kind of a panic move. Like they felt the breeze and just went for it. To be honest, I'd just say pray Helena has a girl and appeal to Rhaenyra. But IDK, that's probably a horrible plan. She doesn't seem to be able to sit tight. You know, she's always trying to do stuff, Alicent. So it suits her character.
But to answer the question, no, I don't think she was right to try to leave. That was crazy.
Not a solid plan. They don't know Flea Bottom. They don't know the alleys of the back passages. Like, no, they were not set up to do that.
Well, and I'm assuming most people know the stories of Maegor's tunnels and stuff. And I'm sure Alicent has heard the spooky tales, you know, almost the ghost stories and stuff of that over the years. So for her to do that, it's truly a desperate kind of crazy plan to be like, let's risk it and just go try to figure out. And as we saw, it didn't work out well. But thankfully, it seems like they were found pretty quickly.
Yeah, sort of anticlimactic. There was just a guy with a torch, be like, and they're found. Like, yeah, that's what we said last week. Like, they're just going to be safe next week, aren't they? Like,
yeah. No,
that's okay.
Remember, her grandson was killed because of those tunnels, so she knows. Helena had a line about it.
She knows that they're there, but she does not have a map. She doesn't have video game overhead map or anything.
No map.
Helena said that Jace, it's just like an RPG. Like you only get the places you explore on the map lit up, and everything is dark on their map. So Helena said Jace was always kind. Maybe there was some unrequited love there. It's supposed to be a road not taken. You're supposed to see that, if times were better and Alicent and Rhaenyra weren't hating each other, that could have worked out potentially, yes. Rhaenyra had the same cut on her little finger as Viserys. Yeah, it did look like, a pinky cut, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the little fingers have been the bane of royalty in Westeros for centuries. Boom.
Got him.
True enough. So it was self-harm. Helena with the needle. Like the mention of the window last episode. Yeah. It's sad to watch Daeron being deceived just like his mother. Game of Thrones, baby. Not just like, but certainly some parallels. I mean, Otto was definitely manipulating Alicent pretty hard. Not the same way, but yeah, I can see that. We did have Crime Cloak Daemon again.
Crime Helmet Daemon now.
Oh, yeah.
And I think people were picking that out based on the preview of last week that he was going to, set a trap by pretending to be a Joe Schmo Gold Cloak. I give this episode 9 on the first watch, says Fernando. Favorite moment was when Vermithor and Silverwing snuggled, Daemon throwing his cup at Torrhen, Helena and Alicent had their final goodbye. Yeah, there were some good little scenes. I'll have to watch it again. What do you guys give it for a rating? Nettles, let's go to you first.
I don't even have one. The chat can tell me. Whatever the chat says is what I'll go with, because for me it's like impossible to rate, because it's like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good enough for me to like think. I was just getting a lot of information, which is needed. I feel like this episode was needed. We answered so many questions, which we needed that catch up. I'm not calling it a filler episode, but because all I did was, it's like reading through an encyclopedia. Like, I just can't rate it. What does the chat say? That's the number I'll use.
Yeah, let me go over to the chat while we're rating it here. So I'm seeing kind of a range, a lot of 6s, some 7s, a couple of 10s, Some people liked it. 7.
6-7. I choose 6-7.
I want to watch this one again. Like you said, there was so much. I was taking notes really fast. There was a lot going on. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was great. It's somewhere in that pretty good range.
Yeah, I felt the same way. It's like this episode was necessary, but when I think back on like the really great episodes of season 2, I don't think I'll think of this one, but it was still a good episode.
I mean, and here's the thing. It's the episode where a lot of people got their wish, which is the end of Crispy, and we still don't care. We still didn't care about the episode.
He went out on the intro. It was like the cold open, cold ending, and we were done.
Yeah, so that's funny. I watch a lot of people react to the show, especially people who like aren't into this genre, but they like, they love Game of Thrones, so they watch it. And like, of course, they haven't read anything in the books. And one thing is, everybody hates Kristen Cole. Like, if there's someone like, is he gonna die this episode? Like even since season 2, because they haven't read the books. So they're like waiting and waiting for him to die. So I know some of them are gonna feel like maybe this might be a letdown that he died so unceremoniously.
I kind of feel like Kristen's arc this season didn't quite land what they were trying to do with it. Maybe it did for some people. I didn't feel a whole lot when he died. Yeah.
Yeah. I was worried about Gwen. I was like, was Gwen there? Where's Gwen? And then when I saw him, I was like, okay, cool, he's fine. I didn't care about Kristen.
Yeah, which is hard because it's like it feels pretty spot on for the book in a way too, but still the way they did it, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I imagine it's hard for the actor. It's kind of a thankless role,
Yeah.
Maynard Plum, if you want, let's run a poll from like 5, 6, 7, or 8 and see what people vote for. Yeah, but I kind of like, you can get the idea of seeing it in the chat too. We haven't done any polls yet. I feel like Kristen Cole, what was I going to say about him? I like the Butcher's Ball setup. They set it up with one of those staged corpse things, which was, they did a bunch of that, in the book version. So they used that idea. I thought that was kind of cool. If you didn't know that was coming, that probably surprised people. It's like, oh, they're attacking all of a sudden. Then they come out of the woods. It's not like there was a lot of sentries that the Northmen had to sneak by, but it was a little bit like there was a whole ass army that close and they didn't.
Yeah.
I guess we're not supposed to worry about that, but.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
It was a sad little Butcher's Ball. Only 15 people getting it. Yeah. In the books, it was a bigger slaughter, but it was the same thing where like their army was much smaller. They got surrounded. The dialogue was similar with the parlay and him just getting shot. They got him in the face, man. That was cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But yeah, I'm not sure what it was, but they could have done something better to make that more meaningful somewhere. I did enjoy Oscar. Yep, he's grown up. He was serving with those lines, definitely.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like, even just talking about earlier this season, like with Jace, of like that was a really unexpected moment, even though, having read the book, I knew it was coming. Whereas I felt like with this immediately, I could kind of see the writing on the wall. As soon as the episode opened, I was like, oh, he's going this episode. And so even though it was like unceremonious, it just didn't feel as just unexpected and out of nowhere, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think it was less than a 5, then just vote 5, or keep typing hate into the chat, and we'll pick up the vibes.
Hey.
Grey Waste Tim has can somebody delete the comment that I just saw come through? I'm not even going to scroll back down, but one of my mods, if you could just take care of that. Grey Waste Tim says they have Tommy Flanagan and they are not utilizing him in any meaningful way. I second this complaint. He barely has more lines than Black Alley. They really could have just the whole Riverlanders. Like, it seemed like it looks good. Like when we're there, they're singing the song, like we're buying the characters, but it's been really slimmed down, that whole plot line. I wish we got a little more with them. Certainly, even just a few minutes of him going back and forth with Oscar or some other soldiers or something would have been something. Like, they haven't used him yet. You're right, Grey Race Tim. You are right. The episode was very dry. A lot happens, but it doesn't have the setup payoff we're used to, maybe except for Gwaine and Daron. Yeah, Gwaine and Daron was a good payoff. It was a little uneven for me, maybe, I would say. Like, some of the scenes were good. Some of them were kind of flat. They were doing a lot of work. There's a lot of info. Yeah, I think we all have sort of similar take on the episode.
Yeah. I do want to take this moment to hate on Raina a little bit more, because I'm just remembering, like, the veil, like, she's sitting there acting like, oh my god, they showed, like, the moon door, like, her, like, throwing someone off the moon. Oh, that never ceases to be satisfying. Oh, Raina's scared of the moon door. You're a dragon rider. Like, you're the only person, like, who shouldn't be scared of the moon door, because something could come out and catch you and save your life. No one else, has that superpower. She's like, oh, like, why are you acting? Once again, she's like Daron. Well, she's worse than Daron as, like, someone who has a dragon but doesn't have that dragon personality. Where is your confidence, your superpower? Like,
it's kind of like something that she knows she's supposed to do but doesn't really connect with, Like, she wants a dragon because that was supposed to be how she got accepted and respected in her family. So now she has the dragon and she can't talk to her family. So it's kind of like, what I think it's the irony. Lesson here. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's irony.
Yes, it's irony. It's like, it's what happens when you chase after things for the wrong motivations. In this case, it's because other people told her that's what she should want. And so it's not really what she wants, though. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I have a hard time having sympathy for her in this moment, too, because it's like, she even says, she's like, all my life I've wanted a dragon, and this is all I've wanted, but now, I want to see my family. Yeah. And I'm like, girl, like, you gotta stop. You gotta stop doing all the
people are dying, Kim. People are dying, Kim. We got other things going on. They make such a big deal about, like, Sheepstealer being a wild dragon. Oh, no one's tamed a wild dragon. Like, so I wanted the person who tamed a wild dragon to be a Nettles, to be something like once in a million, once in a lifetime type of personality, like, to hit harder. And it's like, oh god, just thinking about her, I'm underwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm. This week I've liked it a couple of weeks back. What was going on? Didn't like it as much with this one. I didn't really make sense. Like, we saw Sheepstealer flying with some other dragon. We didn't know who it was. And then in the next scene, it's like, oh, you went and talked to your sister Bela. And I'm like, when did that happen? Or she tried to. Bela was gone, I guess. But, like,
show us.
What are they? Yeah. It was confusing. Yeah.
Like, for sure. That would have been more interesting. Like, her showing how, like, maybe Sheepstealer smelled Moon Dancer and, show us some dragon lore. Like, that would have been better than, like, oh, I'm cowering, I'm so scared. Like, girl, you don't even have to be there. You can go anywhere else.
Yeah.
To your point, Nettles, Raina is got a little bit of the Aegon thing where she, like, you have a real problem taking accountability for your decisions. Like, it's all, you're just whinging and not ever taking accountability. So
it's what it feels like. Yeah.
And it's a flawed character. I don't think it's bad writing necessarily. That's just a flawed character.
Yeah.
But the field clipped this week. Like I said, we didn't really see, like, it's hard to understand what we were supposed to know as the audience about what was going on.
Well, and I think it can just feel a little, I don't know.
No, she's not a child. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't know if grating or disappointing is the right word. Because, like you were saying, Nettles, it's like, we wanted Nettles, and instead we're getting a character that's whinging. We're getting a character that's, I'm like, oh, this feels a little like I'm not, before I was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe, but now I'm like, I don't know if I'm super happy with this trade-off, what they're doing with it right now. I'm not gonna, maybe they'll pull it off, but in this moment, I'm not really feeling it.
How do you like, go ahead.
I was just saying, without going book spoilers, this still could be interesting next season. What they, if, but
It can always be saved. But what did, as I know you're into the costumes, Estella, like what'd you think of her? I mean, the costumer at least went hard, even though I hated to look at Raina, but her little fur,
Yeah,
what do you
I
think of
thought
the
that
season
was
couture?
yeah, I thought that was fun. My only thing though is I'm like, you have a dragon though, you can fly anywhere. Why are you not washing your face? Why are you so covered in dirt? Like, you don't have to be
You
living
don't
like
have to do any of this. Girl, you
It's
can go to
depression
Bravo.
dirt.
Wasn't
yeah.
she living in Pentos? Go back and be like, oh, see me now? Like, can I get my old room? Like, you can
Yeah.
do.
I know it's unbelievable, but I would have just been like, hey, it's so crazy. Sheep Stealer's rider got killed, and then this dragon just showed up to me in Pentos. Hey, everyone. Like, I know
Wild.
that would, yeah, wild.
What would be funny is if she goes back to that same manse where Lena and Damon went, and they were all happy to host them, and they look at Sheep
That's what I'm saying.
Stealer, and they're like,
No,
nobody's
no,
going
no.
to pay to see that ugly thing.
Yeah. They close their shutters. They're like, no, thank you.
Not
Yeah.
home. Not home. No
Yeah.
one's here.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what I was referencing. Like, her going back there.
You're getting called out, Estella. You're having an Ormond-like reaction to dirty Raina.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's my OCD showing is that it's secretly revealed that I also have a cleanliness thing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Find a stream. I would have washed my face by then. But like I said, maybe it's like the sackcloth and ashes, like shame and punishment. I shall not bathe until my name is.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the woman Mysaria is having killed was the one who gave Alicent and Helena their servant disguises. Yeah, she's in on it somehow, and so now she is being killed to protect Mysaria's lie. Yeah, we figured that out. Thank you. The
But
chat
is she
helped
gonna
me.
kill Alicent?
What's that?
Is she gonna kill Alicent? Because Alicent knows.
No,
Yeah.
that's the one vulnerability. You're right. That's the vulnerability is Alicent herself.
And kill
It feels like-
Helena too, I guess. Go ahead, Miss Arya. The worst. Hate, hate, hate.
I think they're trying to show us that Mysaria is not entirely trustworthy, right, Estella?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, not entirely trustworthy. The actress said that like in the last episode, Allison's words got through to her, and it was the first kind of cracking in her faith with Rhaenyra. But again, I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, Zarya, this is a band-aid over the issue. Also, unrelated, I didn't like her pantsuit jacket this episode. It looked like I was like, this is like a modern blazer. Why does she have a blazer on? It wasn't my
The
favorite.
fit.
That
Mysaria?
outfit, yeah, that outfit's fine. She had another outfit that was like a weird blazer-looking situation that to me looked kind of like a politician pantsuit. It wasn't my
I will look
favorite.
forward to your detailed review this week, Estella.
Yeah.
I missed that. I will look forward to that. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you, buddy. Could they pull a Laenor with Daron or Helena? Oh, like a fake death?
I said Helena. I said that sometime on one of these streams where I'm like, they're not gonna off our coded person. Possibly.
I've wondered this about a lot of people, honestly.
Yeah.
All the main characters just about die, some of them in horrible ways. So there's definitely questions about will other people get let off the hook? We're all rooting for Helena to raise chickens in secret somewhere, okay? We'll have to see, Ghost Streamer. Do you think Alicent will be affected when she finds out about Kristen's death? They're going to disrespect him. They're going to show her finding out and like not caring, probably.
I think so. I think she's gonna kind of be like, whatever. Just as a way to even further that idea that he's like, oh, and they'll sing songs about me and Alicent will hear them. And no song, she'll just get a word and then be like, whatever.
What would be funny is if a minstrel composes a song making fun of Cole because it's Rhaenyra's court right now, and Alicent does hear a song about Kristen, but it's like mocking him.
That'd be good. That'd be good writing.
That would actually be very fun. I would like that. That would be great.
We'll see if they're as talented as I am. No, I've not. I don't want it. It would be hard. I honestly do. A lot of my sympathy for Ryan or other people attempting to make these shows comes from the fact that I tend to put myself in their position, and I imagine people hating the thing that I thought was a great idea, and I'm like, man, it would be hard. Like people are waiting to tear you apart, but that's the game. So you make art, but some people are gonna hate it. Episode rating 7 is the winner, 8 second place, 6. Yeah, so like pretty good. Good, not great. I think that's the consensus here. Do y'all think Raina spoke to Bela but lied? No, that would be too much to not show on camera. They better not. I mean,
That'd be crazy.
And we saw Bela and she didn't say anything to Alan about it. She might have said something.
right.
True.
Who was the other dragon though? Was she flying with Moondancer, or was that frigging Vagar with Sheep Stealer?
Well, I didn't see that.
Raina looked in the distance and saw Sheep Stealer flying, and there were 2 dragons. Yeah?
Chat, does chat know?
Let's go to the chat, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
It was Sea Smoke.
yeah, I was gonna say because she's been with Sea Smoke quite a bit with Adam. It just
Okay.
didn't really look like Sea Smoke.
That was not Sheep Stealer. Oh, that was Moondancer and Sea Smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Thank you, chat. I thought she was looking at Sheep Stealer, and I was like, who's flying around with Sheep Stealer? But yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So they're seeing Adam and Bela are patrolling for Vagar.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Which is also a bad idea. You don't want to find Vagar. Does anyone else... Did Alice drive off Vagar so she would have Aemond by herself? She did, didn't she?
That would be good writing.
She spooked her. She spooked Vagar somehow. Because she's all like, oh, Vagar's gone. You should stay here. Maybe she's protecting you. I think all of that sounded like she spooked Vagar so she could wrap her fingers around this kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
To hide him better, like she said.
Not a
Vagar's just
kid,
parked
obviously.
in the garage at Harrenhal. She's just hidden inside the gigantic dragon garage.
The chat seems to agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this whole thing. Is this genuine love that Alice Rivers has for Aemond, or is she just trying to climb him to power because she failed with Daemon? Kind of seems like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, she named herself Lady of the Waters and the Dragon Rider by my side. Not the Dragon Rider I'm serving, not the Dragon Rider. You're by my side, and I'm the Lady of the Waters. So, you know. Just saying.
That made me laugh because it's like, yeah, you have the biggest dragon. You're gonna be my servant. Like, no, it takes a lot. But
Well-
maybe she's like kind of like Doctor Strange seeing different futures, right? Because the ink isn't dry when it comes to like all of everything we know about tree seeing. So maybe she's seeing like there could be a future where you don't, or nothing. I'm not saying nothing. I'll wait.
All
for
I
the
know is that
spoilers.
Aemond doesn't wear the pants in this relationship or the shirt. Neither one.
Or the shirt.
Not allowed to wear a shirt. No shirts in here.
No. And I think he's kind of right where he wants to be. Like, she sees, like, oh, you want this guiding hand, but also you want to feel important, and, like, you're important without Vagar. Like, she knows what she's doing exactly, and I don't necessarily think it's true love. I think she sees what she wants to get, you know?
So I have not finished going through the super chats. That's probably why I didn't get yours yet. I will make sure. But yeah, we're not done going through them. I'm going back and forth.
I mean, I think it could turn into true love or something, so that they could redeem Aemond. Because why didn't she show Daemon the eggs? Well, probably because Daemon would have immediately taken them. But so it's like we're seeing something different from how she treated Daemon and Aemon, and maybe we're supposed to glean something from that. Maybe.
That's a good point. She sort of was doing a different thing with Daemon. She seemed more just facilitating his growth arc. And then at the end, she asked for a favor, and he kind of spit on her. And she is doing something different with Aemond. It's possible that she saw a romantic relationship for her and Aemond in her future and not with Daemon. And so she didn't try. And I think the people that were saying she may have exposed herself to danger, quote unquote, last week in order that Aemond would come save her. That seemed to be the case here, where she's like, oh, I've never had someone save me before. Thank you so much. Like, I'm in your debt now. And then they're both like, well, I'm in your debt. And now they're bonding over being rejected. So clearly she's manipulating this whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and she even said last episode, like, oh, sometimes the child that, grieves is the mother's favorite. And he's like, who are you? And she's like, one who's been grieved. It's like, oh, she's really playing on these, these complexes and insecurities that he has. Clearly, we've seen he has a lot of guilt over, like, the Aegon stuff with his dreams. I think she is like, oh, I can get my claws in this one maybe a little bit better than with Daemon. Because, yeah, maybe she saw in the future in a way. I don't have a relationship with Daemon, but I can with this one. So, but I definitely think she's game playing.
And I think what they've done that makes Aemond vulnerable to this is this sense of like doom that he has. He's like, man, I have screwed. He has some amount of self-awareness. Like, I have screwed this up. I thought, like I ended up killing my brother or almost killing my brother. Everyone hates me. My battle plans have gone awry. Kristen Cole's army is destroyed. They have 6 dragons. Like, he's pretty spun out. That's justified. Like, he should be. He did screw up a lot of things. And so that makes him vulnerable to Alice's manipulations. Mm-hmm. So let us go back to the fan funding, the super chats. Just real quick, I don't think... okay, so I did. Pepperoni was right. Helena's finally eats when Alysanne says she can't leave until she eats. The tapestry. Yeah, it almost seemed like Helena became the parent all the quick. All of a sudden she's like, okay, I'll eat real quick just so you can, like, oh, you need to see me do this so you can leave. Sure, here's me having some soup. Okay, bye. Like, she's kind of, Alicent is a little bit dead to Helena, kind of like. She's been caught in so many lies at this point. Like, Helena's lost a lot of respect for Alicent. I think that's the best way to say it.
For sure. And I think she sees, this most recent stint of let's escape and you weren't even going to bring my daughter and now I can't even see her because we're under double guard. I think she's feeling pretty upset now. And now it's like, oh, and now you're leaving too. Like, I think she has a right to be kind of mad at what Alicent has done.
She's like, oh, you're concerned for me. Okay, yeah, I'm eating. Yeah. That's the vibe I got. Shout out to the show taking 5 minutes to check in with Aegon on his journey of self-realization via stumbling Tyland. Yeah, I love how of the 3, it's like Aegon's not touching the shovel, Larys ain't touching the shovel, and Tyland's just, we should go to Casterly Rock. And they're like, shut up. We're not doing that.
Yeah. Oh,
and then how about the... do you think I'm a terrible person? And it's all, I mean, there's, like good and bad with every, and then he just stops. And it's like, that's the answer. Okay.
Yep.
So you're saying I'm a terrible person?
Yep.
Yes,
love checking in with them on their little buddy road trip comedy. It's been a delight every episode. So I'm enjoying that.
It's funny that Aegon's like pondering this, like, am I a terrible person? I think I might be.
Yeah. As he's refusing to do any of the work and shovel anything, he's just, yeah.
He's like, Lars, you want to shovel? He's like, I'll kick the body in. Cole's death was perfect for me. He wanted an honorable death after all he'd done and was denied it. Episode is an 8 for me. I thought it was better than last week's, to be honest. That's cool, Max. We appreciate you. I'm not saying it was bad. I just, it's a little bit flat for me for some reason, but it accomplished what it was supposed to. Yes, he was supposed to die ingloriously and going out with a whimper. That's mostly what happened. I think we're gonna get the mocking Kristen Cole song, like something about Kingmaker, Flingmaker, because he cheated. I don't know. There'll be something. Spoiler territory. Well, we can't. Well, that's not a spoiler. My resentment of the whole Rhaena Nettles thing is HBO proceeding to do nothing with her and barely anything with Daemon. Well, like I said, if they come back for the Nettles Daemon arc, something resembling that would be maybe beginning next week or early next season. So we'll see. But yeah, we all agree it was a little shaky this week. Everything feels rushed and underwhelming. This show really suffers from the shortened season and they have to rewrite it for something worse or rushed. The pacing in this season has felt a little uneven at times. I hear that criticism. I don't think it's been terrible. We did get some book lines at Butcher's Ball, which we enjoyed a little earlier in the stream. Yes, indeed. We are Aegon III and Viserys. I don't know. Somebody should be looking for them, I think. They're in the Vale, I guess. But we never see them in the Vale. Maybe Lady Jane tossed them out the moon door when she was bored one day.
Yeah.
No, they're just not there somewhere. They're not important, I guess, for now. They'll trot them out. They'll recast them next season and trot them out. They might not have even cast them for this season. Like, we literally have not seen them. So
Yeah.
they'll all of a sudden be 12 next season.
Yeah. Because Damon said, like, they're supposed to be on a ship to Pentos or something. And so I think...
Maybe they got there in this timeline.
Yeah. Maybe in this timeline they're just partying it up.
Wait, did you see the Nana Vagar napping in the Isle of Faces one?
Did I flip past that one? I did.
Well,
I did see it.
It's a members, so you can't like it. That's probably... No, go down. No, further. And then up. It's in between some of the...
I'm hurting Pepperoni's feelings here. I got to go back. I shortchanged the question. Let's see. My hot take, the Weirwoods told Alice what's going to happen in the God's Eye, so that's why she showed the eggs to keep Aemond in Harrenhal. We will have to talk about that in the spoiler section.
It's right there.
Yeah, there it is.
No, I think Vagar's ranging, but
yeah. But
maybe she's buddies with the Green Men. Maybe they go way back. Who knows?
But that would show maybe Alice's involvement is that like Estella, you were saying Vagar's in the garage. Well, Alice's garage is the Isle of Faces.
Yeah. They're putting like weirwood leaf flower crowns on her. They're like,
she's the May Queen
around the dragon. Yeah, they're dancing around the dragon. Yeah.
Okay, Pepperoni, I'm sorry if I gave you a hard time. This is a good question. Thank you for calling my attention back to it. The tapestry is one-eye sapphire with red raining down on him. The plan Gwaine wants to know about Ormond seems to play out in the last scene. Yes. So both of those things. I didn't notice the tapestry. I'm going to go back and study it. But there's plenty of rain in, little Q the Slayer at the Harrenhals. I want to go back and study it. But like we said, it's definitely... What was the word you used, Estella?
Yonic.
Thank you. Yes, womb-like.
Womb-like.
And yes, they did cut when Gwaine is like, so what's your plan? Because remember, Gwaine says about Ormond, he's kind of a dick, but he's always got a canny plan afoot. He's like, well, what is your plan? And then we see Corlys get abducted by Bold John. So that was the plan.
Good plan. Ormond, listen. Ormond is winning the Game of Thrones.
But they've already taken the whole town of Tumbleton hostage. What's taking Corlys hostage? How's that? Maybe they're trying to control Alan through that or something?
Well, I mean, he did say, he's like, oh, Corlys Velaryon would be such a good hand. He is such a good hand. Maybe they're going to keep him prisoner. And, they're like, if we can keep the hand away from Rhaenyra, that's her strongest point. Because Ormond thinks that, as a woman, she's, weak and squeamish is what he said.
Yes, that's exactly.
He uses a lot of derogatory words for Rhaenyra. They're hard to keep track of.
Yeah. So maybe he thinks the true strength in her military strategic mind is her hand, Corlys. So.
Yeah.
Oh, Melon Musk, I like that. Alice is the Lady of the Lake, Lady of the Waters, giving Aemond Excalibur, the dragon's eggs. Like, yeah. Shades of that, yeah. I mean, obviously the dragons can symbolize Lightbringer in the story. Didn't think about that. But yes, Lady of the Water does sound like Lady of the Lake. I was wondering what they were doing with that. It was like just a new title that she just pulled out of her pocket,
I didn't hate it. It made me think of that sequel to The Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor, Lady of the Lake.
I think you just lost your mic. I think it just switched to your laptop mic or something.
Oh, really? Can you hear me now?
No, it was just far away.
Okay, yeah, it was too far away.
I was going to say... oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just real quick, the chat was saying he called her squeamish, and then he throws up after seeing a little battle. So, yeah.
I was going to say with Alice naming herself Lady of the Water, or Lady of the Water.
Oh, she's Alice Waters. Alice Rivers.
Yeah.
Rivers.
Alice Rivers.
Yeah.
It would be Rivers.
It made me think, like, with her saying, oh, well, basically screw the gods, like we're going against them. It made me think if she was like hearkening back to something older of like, I'm gonna take on this like some very ancient Riverlands role of Lady of the Waters or something, is kind of the vibe I was getting of like, no,
Same.
I'm gonna be forging my own stuff with the magic that I have. You know, screw the seven, screw these other gods.
Should have said Lady of the Rivers. That would have made more sense. But that's okay. We get it. There's water in the river. It works. And yeah, if you are watching, we have a bunch of people watching. 1485 tonight. Another YouTuber whose name is Blank Shift Blank is not streaming tonight. They're going tomorrow morning. So we've got welcome if you're usually hanging with Swift and Glidus, who we are big fans of here as well. And we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Hey.
We're fun too. No Australian accents unless Eldrick Stoneskin's on. But we do make jokes. Does anyone else want just one kind or tender conversation between Daemon and Rhaenyra? Things are about to fall apart. Where will Baela be when Rhaenyra finds out who rides Sheepstealer? So that there are certainly going to have, they are setting up that to have a payoff. Like Rhaenyra is going to find out and she's going to yell at people about it. How many people and where, we'll have to see, but that's coming, certainly. And no, I don't think we're going to get too many more tender Rhaenyra. The closest thing you got was them in the Sept speaking High Valyrian last week, probably.
Yeah. Because they're setting up that everybody's lying to Rhaenyra. Like, and then so when she's, what if it's the same day that she finds out about Mysaria and Daemon? And Alicent has a few more lies to tell Rhaenyra. Maybe about Aemon.
And with the end of this episode looking like one of the dragon seeds is maybe, turning against her. I mean, Hugh or Ulf, whichever one it is. I mean, I think we're setting up for an explosion to happen of Rhaenyra just feeling betrayed all over the place. So
yeah, imagine she finds all that out on the same day and then she gets her period. Just kidding. I had to bring that back. But so she finds out. Oh, yeah.
Rats spoiled again by my woman's blood. Damn it.
My weak woman's body. No.
Well, she did cut her finger, though. That's probably the more important thing, right?
Yeah.
Fabian Frankel. I follow him on the gram. I follow a lot of people. My feed is crowded. Fear is the only thing that, if you're on there, show him some love. Say thank you. That would be cool. Fear is the only thing that motivates all of Alicent. I mean, he did give us that glorious interview a couple weeks ago, right, Estella? That was a crash out. That was hilarious.
Yeah, no, it was, for sure.
I guess you don't want me to ever have jobs again. Nobody's going to like me. Let's try to make me unlikable. I suggested things. I didn't take it. It's like, dude, well. Anyway, Dreamfire eggs 5 instead of 3. This is a different clutch. This is one that Rhaena would have left when she was Queen of Harrenhal for a certain period of time, following, it was like from 51 AC or something like that on. I don't know what, but
Queen of the West, yeah.
So different clutch. The dance was an inside job. Seeing the Hightowers, Alice, Small Folk, the Faith, Hate Dragon, harkens David's Valeri inside job theory. Well, no, because my doom was an inside job theory is that Aenar is a moral actor, of a very extreme actor, but a moral actor. He's against the slavery. Here, this is just a bunch of people trying to gain power for themselves and undermining other people, and it's just a circle of backstabbing that leaves nobody actually running the kingdom. That's what I would say. Orman says Gwaine no doubt found solace in a brother's arms. Is the implication that Gwaine's gay? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I thought that made that pretty clear. We talked about that earlier. That's why he picked up the guy's head. It was like, the real one's much better looking. Like that was supposed to be a punchline. Is just me or did Baela have way more chemistry with Adam? Let's debate. Did Baela have more chemistry with Adam or Alan? Maynard, let me get a poll. I thought her and Alan had some chemistry last week. Valid question.
Chugga, 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 choo choo. That's all I've got to say about that.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, though. So I wouldn't be mad at it.
Wouldn't be mad at... Oh, choo choo. I'm sorry. I'm so slow. I'm way behind that. Where's that joke? I'm catching up to it. They're Valerians. Hey, I mean... Hey.
No, yeah. I think I said this before, like I think great writing would be she falls for one brother, he passes, and then she has to settle for the other brother. And the
Yeah.
relationship could never be good because you're mourning like my real love died.
Definitely some spoilers in the chat, which I see but will not comment. I choose you. That's what I was thinking of, Grey Waste Tim. I'm so innocent. That's not what they were talking about, Tim. Turns out is, yeah. Go to urbandictionary.com. They'll probably have it. Can Bela have a reverse Aegon? That's what we're talking about, yeah. I guess, Maynard, if you can put both on the poll, it's going to win.
Put the train emoji. No, but I would say Adam. I think she had more chemistry with Adam. Like, come on, they're both dragon riders.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Bela's like,
fire.
I was going to be queen. I'm at least going to have a throuple.
Hey. This
Yeah.
was right in your storyline at some point in the books.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
In Westeros, it's called running a wagon.
Well, there you go. No train.
There you go. Yeah.
I love you, chat. I can always count on you. I think Maynard has spelled Alan's name different every single week. Today we have 2 L's.
Adam has 2 D's.
It's hard to keep track of. George is taking classic English names like Edward and turning them into Edard, which is not a name. It's cool. It is now, but yeah, all of the above.
That makes me think Adam has 2 D's, like truly Valyrian style, because weren't they like freaks in nature? If you're bonding with a dragon, I think you might get 2 D's.
So I'm unclear on. I don't think they're really paying much attention to people's ages here. I will just say.
Yeah.
No.
Like the actor versus how old they're supposed to be in the show.
Yeah.
It's pretty slippery.
Yeah.
So. Bela is about to have 2 Ds. Oh, jeez.
Like you're saying, Nettles, that book Rhaenyra plotline, they're just giving that to her. We didn't get to see any Bela and Jace romance. We're getting double romance.
We didn't get Daemon, Lena, Rhaenyra. Is there a conjunction
That's
name
what
for
we're
that?
referencing.
Delamira?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we're getting instead. We're getting double romance.
The book told us they were on top of the dragons. I mean, talk about Mile High Club. We were denied some visuals. HBO likes to push the envelope. They really missed an opportunity.
I don't know. I think Adam and Alan are 2 of the better catches that are still on the board. I mean, they're both handsome. They're both like very honorable. One has a dragon. One has a sense of rigid morality.
Yeah.
Yeah, competency.
Yep.
Highly
He likes
competent.
He's got aura. He's got aura. Yeah.
Just depends on if you want your solid, quiet, dependable type or your sort of charismatic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just letting the chat do its. I'm just stalling so the chat can do its thing here. We've got all of the above at 40. Adam with 39. Alan 21. Come on, Alan, step up your game, brother.
He doesn't have no dragon.
Game. Because your brother's, you know, also on the. We'll see. We'll see what they're doing here.
Yeah.
I've heard theories that Alice is the spirit of Harrenhal. I like that for a different story.
Ooh.
Ice and Fire's not quite that abstract, but that is cool that she's like the spirit of the castle given form. That would be cool. I would dig that.
Yeah.
I'd
George
prefer
does
it to
that
be
stuff.
Melisandre. I'd prefer that if she's some type of I've been here long and I'm very old and maybe not the spirit of Harrenhal, but I am definitely in tune with Harrenhal in a way.
She is. That's no doubt about that. I would love it if George is working towards some little answer that explains why, where she comes from and why she is so connected to the castle and what's going on there. But I think the bottom line is she's at least a green dreamer like Jojen. At very minimum, she's got that. Like she might be a full green seer or just a powerful skin changer with some psychic dreams who's also pursued other witchcraft. Because remember, we always think of this stuff as being separate, but like fire magic can be performed by anyone. You don't have to be a Relorist. to do fire magic. They just formed a cult around it. Multiple people use glass candles. Lots of people have prophetic visions. There's zombies of different stripes and varieties and magics. So I think she's probably someone that has a green gift to begin with, but has maybe practiced a few other things here and there, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. We'll see if there's an origin story. I don't like the idea that she's Melisandre. It's okay if we have multiple witches in the story, you know, that have different motivations and stuff. So I don't really like that theory. Can we talk about there being two witches in Alice and Helena? Yeah, Helena definitely qualifies as a witch archetype. A little fire and ice. Right, water and ice. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, water and ice doesn't go. Fire and water doesn't go together. But yeah, Helena would be a white witch. It's the white hair and the good witch.
We haven't gotten any Rhaenyra eating cakes at all. But I don't think that would fit the character. They've taken it in a different direction.
Yeah.
Lady of the Waters gives Queen of the Other symbolism. Yeah, Lady of the Frozen Waters. I think it was probably more an Arthurian thing, especially next to the Isle of Faces. That feels more Arthurian to me.
Yeah, I was thinking a little bit about in the Age of Heroes, wasn't there like a witch queen of the Riverlands, like Shara, or was it Lara? It's some reference to
Shara the Witch Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a reference to that short story where it's like, traversing the kind of, waters of time in a way and stuff. And so it's kind of given that vibe to me a little bit. I don't know if they were referencing that deep, but
I think George puts a lot of Arthurian stuff in the Riverlands, so it fits the vibe to me. Yeah, I like it. You can't trust the actresses that play the witches when they say they're 400 years old. That just means, it doesn't mean exactly 400. It just means not 40, you know. I do prefer the idea that Alice is actually one of Leaf's disguises much more than she's secretly Melisandre, but I still would prefer those to be separate people. However, we know that Leaf did wear disguises and walk among humans, and I don't have a guess as to who that was. So she's probably somebody.
yeah,
Some people
I
think
prefer that.
Nettles, Book Nettles is Leaf. I think Gray Area is on that one.
Gray Area. Yeah, she had a video on that.
And yeah,
heard that
shout out to
one.
Michael Talks. He had a cool video about Arya yesterday, and he has talked about Alice Rivers too as well. Yeah, we love Michael around here. He was on last week, in fact. And thank you to everybody who watched my Yellow Toad video yesterday. I had a lot of fun making that. The Dornish War is maybe one of the most interesting wars that George has written. I had a lot of fun doing that one.
I'm looking through my notes here, but I said everything.
All been said, huh? This episode was hilarious. There were some funny moments. I think every scene with Larys and Aegon is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, is Michael in the chat? Or somebody just tagging him? I didn't see him in there. But, oh, he is. Yep. My first thought was the Hammer of the Waters for sure when she called herself Lady of the Waters. Yeah, the hammer is called down from the God's Eye. So that is interesting. I didn't think about that. Well, Michael, I was a genuine shout out. I wasn't trying to impress you. I didn't know you were here. But I did watch all of your hour and 14-minute Arya video yesterday and enjoyed it. So, whoa, what happened? Oh, there we go. Sorry. Yeah, Tyland is trying to work into the comedic duo. You know, he's trying to get in on the timing there. I think it's working.
Yeah, I think he's funny. I've thought he was funny since season 1.
So we've got, all of the above. We're rooting for the throuple. We're sick. We're sick people. We don't want anyone to have stable relationships. Just exciting thruples. Sorry.
You're nasty. I'm innocent. I never said anything about that.
Oh, you're very innocent. You're the one that started the train emoji stuff. But yes, Larys and Aegon are kind of our Tyrion and Bronn.
No.
Nettles is offended by that
What
comparison.
the heck? Tyrion and Bronn were so funny, so consistent. Are you kidding me? They're probably the most quoted. Like, I've seen the most shirts and cups made from their conversations.
Laris and Aegon, I can't think of another dynamic that's quite like that. Actually. It's pretty original. And it's not necessarily from the books either. It's something they stumbled into that's just working really well because the actors are good.
Yeah.
Dreamfire is an SLUT. Was Alice faking hiding her powers when she was attacked in last week's episode? We concluded yes. That was all a setup to manipulate Aemond. Yeah, we talked about that about an hour ago, and that is what we came to as well. What did you think of the title, The Faceless Men? That was the title of the episode?
No.
I guess that's the assassins in King's Landing? Or was it the people that Kristen was whacking with that spiked Morning Star or whatever, the flail? It was
a line. It was a line. And who said it? Was it Rhaenyra? Someone said the line. Faceless Men.
Yeah, that's the episode title. Yeah, the Faceless Men would be the assassins at King's Landing for her.
I think, or Daemon said it. We're being attacked by faceless men. Oh, Rhaenyra said that.
And also Rhaenyra attempted an assassination of Daeron. Which is what the Faceless Men do. But yeah, Kristen was...
Yeah.
They gave us some close-up. They're a little closer up than we needed necessarily. But yeah, that thing looked painful. Just don't forget, war is painful. You get hit in the face with metal. It's not fun. But there were not actual faceless men in this episode. So that feels like... I don't really get that, but okay.
Yeah, go and get them. So many things could have been avoided already.
It's like titling it Squishers and Merlings, and there's no Squishers and Merlings in there.
Yeah. I say boo to the title. Give me something better.
Yeah, it just feels kind of out of left field considering we got mentions of Rhaena and we got dragon eggs. We got, acknowledgement of Dreamer. We got mention of Dany's the Dream. Like anything to do with any of those things would have made more sense to me as a title. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like when Rhaenyra hatches an assassination plot, like the Faceless Men would have pulled that off. That was not a Faceless Man level assassination.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It was a decent try. They got armed people in the same room as Daeron, so like that's pretty close. But yeah, the Faceless Men are more subtle, obviously, and they're expert. They have tricks that other people don't have. Strange episode title. Cool. Nihilistic Ghost. Why are the Baratheons working with Rhaenyra when Boros gave that whole speech about reminding the Lord of Storms and his oaths and the marriage pact made with Aemon? Did I miss something? So the marriage pact with Aemon plot line was kind of dropped. Did they ever even seal that one?
They mentioned it. They mentioned it last episode or a couple episodes ago.
Okay, so they did.
Yeah, it's when Ormond says like, oh, well, we promised one of his, what was it, like horse-faced daughters to Aemond or something. And when he was talking about like, send him a letter with pictures in it this time or something.
Yes.
It gets offhanded mentioned, but...
I think the Baratheons are being depicted as trying to play both sides. They're like, oh, we support Rhaenyra, but not with soldiers. They're busy. They're doing a vulture hunt right now. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's what they're just trying to... be like, y'all figure it out, and then we will join the winning side at the end, preferably after none of our soldiers have died. Which is honestly, you can't totally blame them for doing that. Trying to keep your own soldiers out of the war. Like, you could say it's cowardly, or you could say it's self-preserving. It's pretty easy to look at the Hightower Targaryen thing and be like, y'all sort that out, and let me know who wins. We don't care.
I heard dragons. Yeah, there's dragons coming? No.
Like, yeah, we're paying taxes either way. Just let us know who wins.
Yeah. Sorry, we're just so busy fighting the Vulture King. We can't come and help.
Yeah.
Gwain's wandering eye totally saved Ormond. Oh, he was checking out the soldier's package. That's why he saw the hand on the... I don't know. You might be reading into that. But maybe I'll rewatch. I don't think that's what we were supposed to take from that. Is that a sword in your pocket, or are you just happy to say, wait, it's a sword in your pocket? Jesus.
It is a sword. I'm so disappointed it's a sword. That's crazy. Gotta kill you now.
Oh, it's an actual sword. Shit. Okay, cool. Well, let's declare it spoilers all, because there was some spoiler things to talk about.
Woo!
Welcome back to the screen chat. Hello, chat. Thank you for the super chats.
Spoilers.
Spoiler, spoiler. Hey, Baby the Bard. It's been a minute. Hey. Been leading your rock band. Been playing so many gigs. Not been in the chat. Oh, it's good to see Bebe. All right, so Bebe is very funny.
Let me say my spoiler territory.
Go for it.
People always say that Nettles has the worst theories and worst takes. I've been right a couple times, so I just wanted to let that be known. Have I been wrong more? Yeah. But who hasn't? But anyways, no.
Nettles, are you a horrible theorist? I mean, look, there's good things and bad things. Don't ask me. I don't know.
I am what I am. So I think the reason they showed us the Silverwing and Vermithor laying together, right, is to build this bond of like, okay, these dragons go together real bad. Like that means like they're always going to be on the same page. So if Ulf flips, my theory is that Hugh never flips. And he's riding the dragon that's following Ulf. Like that Vermithor is following whatever Silverwing is doing, is what I'm trying to say. So it could be like a scene of like, no, don't do that, don't go that way. And so that's why it looks like, that's what I'm thinking happens in Second Tumbleton. Why it looks like he's flipped.
You think Silverwing wears the pants in the relationship is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That could be a factor. We have seen also that, like, you know, we're, again, spoilers all. Vagar and Caraxes are friendly when Daemon is with Laena, but then when it's Daemon and Aemond, they're going to fight. So hard to say. Could you get Vermithor and Silverwing to fight? Maybe not. Like maybe if you tried to get them to fight, they would refuse. It is hard to say. But I think you're right to point that out. If one of the dragon riders turns, Hugh or Ulf, maybe the other one's dragon would be inclined to follow. They've both got reasons now to potentially do this. With Ulf, it's very clear. He's just, they just destroyed his reputation in Fleabot. Like that was terrible. With Hugh, it's like a friggin' mess now. Like Kat didn't want to see him back with a dragon. It's like, you smell different. It's like, yeah, I smell like dragon rider. And Hugh turned all, you know, all choky and grabby there. So I'm not sure what where Hugh's head is at now, or what he's going to be trying to do, but he's obviously pretty upset and stressed out, and he's now a mess officially. And we can see that probably his biggest emotional investment in any of this is with his wife, not Rhaenyra's cause or anything else. So this is set up to go sideways next week for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that line from the preview is about. Ormond's like, we have a piece on the board that can something. He probably has one of the betrayers or both by that time.
Definitely Ulf, because he said that part about the dog on the note. And didn't they make sure to show the dog that was kicked with Ulf? Remember someone saying they saw the rat catcher's dog, Cheese, with Ulf. So it's like, yeah. It's like,
call back to the dog, the poor dog. And I did think that was Ulf's costume. So has Ulf already gone over?
I think that's what I got from that scene.
Yeah, I think so
too. Estella, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely. I think, it just feels like it's very set up that is what is happening.
Hugh has had a bath, but the dragon stink is hard to get off. And as soon as you get back on the dragon, it just undoes all the work. So he's well bathed, unlike Rhaena, but he's still going to stink like a dragon.
Oh, Rhaena.
Brimstone stink. There was one that came in just now. Wasn't Rhaena meant to be in Pentos with her younger brothers? Why hasn't anyone alerted Rhaenyra that she's MIA in all this time? Have they discussed Rhaena being MIA?
No.
In the small council?
No, I mean, the only reference we got is Daemon saying, "Oh, you're supposed to be in Pentos," when he was talking directly to Rhaena, but we haven't really heard Rhaenyra or anyone at the council.
It's Lady Jane's keeping it secret. Yeah.
But you'd think like
her.
You'd think if her kids are on a boat and did get to Pentos that there would be some, letter sent back of, hey, we received your 2 kids. And then like, no mention of Raina. Like, you'd think that this would have come up by now, but
Yeah.
Did you say you were sending a babysitter with them? Because
yeah.
One of them's not potty trained, and I don't do diapers. Like, where's the babysitter?
Yeah.
Raina's not. She's not a good. She doesn't get good babysitter reviews on Yelp, unfortunately. Okay, what other spoiler topics did we have? We talked about the betrayers, Alice and Aemond. So obviously in the books, we leave off with Aemond claiming, or with Alice claiming to be pregnant, or does she actually have the kid next to her in that last scene?
I think
Both. There's something written about her being pregnant, or maybe it's like Bran sees that pregnant woman, and some people have theorized that it's Alice, right? That it could be Alice. But she does show up with a child who's at least able to walk.
Okay, yes, I thought so.
on.
On the walls of Harrenhal, when she curses the guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's some mentioning of like a heavily pregnant Alice at some point in Fire and Blood or something.
So she definitely has a kid with Aemond. We just don't know what happened to that kid in history. But she claimed to have hatched a dragon too, didn't she?
I believe so. Is it clear though if that is like a physical dragon or if it's more metaphorical for their child?
Wasn't it like a witness saying that she had it was the guy whose head blew up. He was saying like, oh, she had a dragon. And people are like, no, they laugh at him.
Don't laugh. Yeah.
So it's unclear. It's written to be unclear. That's why I'm not clear on it. But yes, the point is George he shows us maybe she had a kid with Aemon, maybe she has a dragon. And then he gave us like 17 years of Harrenhal history that we have a big empty spot for. So there's lots of time for him to garner in some sort of story there. We have no idea where that's going. The show writers here for House of Ryan probably has a little bit of an idea so that he can write towards something with them. And we're seeing Alice with some personal motivations now. Like she's clearly trying to set herself up as a witch queen of Harrenhal with a dragon rider, king consort, we'll call him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will see. I definitely think they're going to make Aemon be nice so that we can cry when he dies. We're going to see a switch. Everyone has to be redeemed in this show, guys. Except like Otto.
Well, like I said, showing that he's at least self-aware of screwing everything up, like, doesn't make me sympathize with him, but it makes the character a little more deep as far as he's not just a hardened psychopath. Like, he realizes, I kind of screwed up a little bit. I got out over my skis. And he's looking for a different path. Like he was basically asking Alice about her power. She's like, let me show you. And then she pulls the dragon's eggs out. So their relationship is set to go in a more magical direction. And in Fire and Blood, when he shows up to Harrenhal to fight Daemon, Aemond is all like, oh, my Alice sees things in the clouds and this and that. Like he's all big up in her magic power and stuff. And so it seems like they are steering this towards that kind of a dynamic where he's definitely under her thumb and in love with her.
Yeah. Like they seem, I don't want to say happy together, but they seem definitely together. I mean, maybe happy, but it definitely is also a little bit of we are a power couple kind of vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. Villain power couple. I think it's working. Yeah. It is going that way. What about Mysaria being disappointed in Rhaenyra in the throne room and also lying to her? Well, we talked about the lying. I think, and Fernando, I thought we hit this, but basically it was just they're showing us that Mysaria has a skeptical eye on Rhaenyra. Like, are you really the ruler to stabilize King's Landing? I think we're supposed to interpret Mysaria as generally being team small folk, but she's not above killing innocent people or doing what need to be done to preserve her safety or whatever. So very Varys-like, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also that Alicent has planted that seed for her to doubt Rhaenyra.
Yep.
But she still sucks.
Dragon meat is at least edible to other dragons. We know that sometimes dragons consume each other. Cannibal does, but also Sunfire. If Lars and Aegon end up on the gay abandon, we will need to win a foreshadowing award. They recycle the gay abandon. Is that what's been predicted? He runs into Aegon and Viserys and takes them hostage.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do at the end of this story, man. I really don't.
Yeah, 2 more episodes left.
No, I mean like Rhaenyra's end, like at the end.
Oh, yeah. But they do have a lot of work to do for 2 more episodes left. Let me just say that. This episode, like I said, like I'm always happy to just digest this information and to be in this world. But my critical eye says that like they could have done a lot more. Like there's some wasted time, for us to get to where we need to be on episode 8. A lot more should have happened. Thank you for giving us Kristen Cole's death. I haven't forgotten. Thank you for my slap. I'm happy about it. But like we needed more.
I'll probably wait to make that judgment when I've seen the whole season, but I potentially agree with you.
I feel like even Tumbleton won't even happen. Second Tumbleton won't happen at this point.
And I will say they did really hype up that this season was going to be battle. But we have yada at a couple of the battles where we just see the aftermath of them. And I think that's happened like 3 or 4 times now. And I think that has been a little like, okay. I mean, I have liked this season a lot more than season 2, but I do still think there are some things that are a little iffy, some things that need to be wrapped up. And in that too, with the preview for the next episode, I assumed that the pentultimate would be Tumbleton would be the big battle, but looking at the preview, I'm not so sure. It seems like maybe they're saving it for the finale. What do y'all think?
Very possible. It's either that or they just purposely did not show us any of the battle, but they showed us a bunch of other stuff happening next week. Yeah. So yeah, I would have said no before this episode, but now I say that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get the Dragon Pit this season. And that's the last thing that we need before Rhaenyra can flee King's Landing. Mm-hmm. So I think they will probably get that midway through next season where they'll set up the Dragon Pit with a couple episodes. It'll be increasing chaos and paranoia in King's Landing, and then we'll get the Dragon Pit. And pretty much right after that, she flees.
Yeah.
Kristen Cole did not really earn his Kingmaker nickname in the show. They de-emphasized that a little bit, his role in, I mean, it was there, but it was a lot softer, and they didn't call him Kingmaker. So, yeah, we just didn't really get that.
He physically put the crown on Aegon, so maybe that's enough.
Yeah, it just, I guess they should have emphasized how much that, like, the Lord Commander was able to add legitimacy to that. Like, if Kristen Cole isn't at that coronation, it's not a coronation, kind of. But they didn't really, I mean, it's a minor complaint.
Yeah.
He did get called Kingmaker like once or twice, but not that many. I do want to point out that he's kind of a foil for Dunk, just going back to the book universe. Like, both Dunk and Kristen came from nothing to become Lord Commander, but they are very different people. And so it's not like a big one-to-one inverted parallel, but it is interesting. They both, again, come from nothing, become Lord Commander. You could look at Kristen Cole was supposed to safeguard Rhaenyra, kind of like Dunk is safeguarding Egg, but obviously that one worked out differently. And then Kristen is betraying and going back and forth. See, like, Dunk is in a civil war with Egg, but the Blackfire Rebellion had already started long before Dunk. So he wasn't caught in between with the loyalties. He just fought on one side of it. But both of them are caught up in a civil war in some fashion.
Yeah.
Jezza Louise, no. What was Sarah Hess's comment? I didn't see it.
Neither did I.
I was going to say, I know in season 1, Hess had said we will not show SA in this show or have SA on screen, which I feel like has been broken by this point. I don't know if
they threatened it with Alicent without quite going there.
Yeah.
Kat, Hugh's wife was threatened, but it didn't happen.
Yep.
Alicent was kissed by Aemond.
Yeah.
Kind of a threat might have lingered there.
Yeah.
So they're just insinuating it, but not showing it. So maybe that's what she meant. Like, we're not going to physically show it anymore, but...
there was a camp follower in episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
The one that Gwen sees. Yeah, it's a guy coming out of a tent.
And I think it gets really in a gray area and nitty gritty on what you think is and isn't. Because, I mean, you could even argue that back in season 1, like, there are scenes between Alicent and Viserys that definitely seem not great. I mean, so I've seen people debate whether or not, these scenes in this season are breaking that, or if it's like, well, we aren't really showing it. I'm assuming that's what the comment was, unless, oh, wait, no, someone said.
I think it's one of those things where you're better off not worrying about what the people who make the show say about the show and just watching the show.
Yeah. I think
the show is full of violence of all kinds. Some of it will be SA. I don't know that they are. I guess the thing people are on guard for is like, are they doing it in a tacky way to create drama? I felt like Alicent getting threatened was a little bit like, oh, you just wanted to make it more threatening and give us a reason to hate this guy who's going to get his head chopped off. But other people in the chat are like, no, that shit happens, and it happens unexpectedly, and you don't see it coming, and then all of a sudden there's a guy who thinks he's got a safe spot to do this. So I will defer to other people's judgment, but I hear both sides of that conversation. I don't know if there's a ton to say about it.
For sure.
Yeah, I wasn't mad seeing it for that reason. I'm like, this was definitely the woman's experience back then. And it still is now. So it's like, it's not. So whenever I see it, I'm like, that's.
And it is something that happens when power changes hands. Like all of a sudden it's like, oh, you think you're the queen and I would never hurt you. It's like, well, you're not really the queen anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But they could have built that up by showing us that guy had a grudge about stuff a little more. They didn't really do that. But
I think my only gripe with that this season is it felt like just a very quick shorthand of we got to make sure we hate this guy real quick, you know.
They should have just told the story about him and his 29 kids and his, I think, 4 wives.
That would have really made sense to include that. Would have only taken a couple lines. So
I would have liked to see it, like just his house, like with the 29 kids just going up and down. Excuse me.
So what other spoiler stuff do we have to talk about here? Going back to the Nettles thing, we were dancing around it, but obviously the way that this plot line could become interesting is Daemon and Caraxes and Rhaena and Sheepstealer hanging out a bit, looking for Vhagar. That could be compelling, obviously.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that they could have, like with this season, you know, to fill it whatever they're waiting for. But
So I think part of the problem with the Rhaena thing is that the plot line itself is spaced out weird. Like last season, there was a lot of filler where she's just running through the hills every week, and it's like it was a grand total of like a 2-minute sequence spread over 8 episodes or something. And this week was a little like that, where it's like, oh, Rhaena's gotten into trouble again by being sighted, but nothing will come out of it. And Lady Jane slapped her, and then she went back to her cave. So nothing really happened. It was just a little circle that we ran to have to do something with them.
But also, like, how do we get Daemon out of King's Landing to be in her plot point? Because he's very much needed in King's Landing right now. Like, I don't see how you can write him out of there.
He could have a falling out. Maybe Rhaenyra starts trusting Mysaria more. It could be that somebody cites Sheepstealer again, and they got to go figure it out. Or maybe Vhagar burns a bunch of places, and they're like, oh, we got to go handle that. Be one of those.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Hugh and Ulf yet? Like predictions for
Oh, no, let's come back to that. Yeah.
Spoilery stuff. Yeah.
Ulf is not hard to figure out at this point. I think that is Ulf's Dragon Rider jacket, and I think he probably has gone over. I mean, the Green Spies could have approached him like 2 seconds after that scene was over, been like, hey, how'd you like to work for a good boss? We got this guy, Ormond, who loves a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
every time you get a new office job, you get a boss like Ormond.
I still think the main possibility for Hugh is that he's going to get the order to attack Tumbleton and won't be able to do it because he wasn't able to get his wife out of there. It makes sense what he's trying to do. He's like, this town might get burned, so let's try to get my wife out before it happens, but she's refusing to leave, and he's now upset and capable of making bad split-second decisions. So Probably
Yeah.
when the attack happens, he'll just refuse and go over. Or maybe he sees Ulf goes over and he gives it some thought. Yeah, maybe that's it too. What do y'all think?
That could be a possibility.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Nettles too, you said earlier, like maybe, we've seen that Vermithor and Silverwing are very bonded. I mean, maybe it even is an instance of like we see Ulf acting a certain way and Vermithor wants to act in kind, I think either way, it's undeniable that they will both, be put into some interesting choices in the next few episodes, that probably won't be the best based on emotions. So.
Stephanie in the chat is saying that was one of those Baratheon coats with the blood graffiti on it, not Ulf's coat.
Okay.
How does that fit with kicking the dog, though? Is that the Storm's End? Boros isn't a dog to be summoned up at Rhaenyra's beck and call? Is that it? It doesn't really make sense.
That could be too. But no, because the second part is the hand that feeds it. Mm-hmm. It's going to bite, the kick dog will bite the hand that feeds it.
It really seemed like it was about Ulf. Maybe it still was about Ulf.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be his jacket. Like, Ulf doesn't have that many clothes. He's not giving it up for this stuff.
Michael and Grey Waist Tim both confirmed. Baratheon uniform. Thanks, guys.
Okay. I mean, maybe it was maybe Ulf did write it on the jacket, but it was to show like, hey, your Baratheon plan didn't work, and I'm now, I'm
no, Ulf
switching
can't
stuff.
write. It would have been somebody else writing it. But the point is, if Ulf went over to the Greens, then this would make sense as a taunting message. Potentially.
Yeah. But I mean, it could have been a message that he, told of like, oh, let's write it on this Baratheon coat. Let's send it to her. Of like, we're kind of showcasing that, hey, you've not only lost one of your dragon riders, but you've also lost in this assassination attempt.
Oh, okay. So Grey Waist Tim is saying Corlys is Rhaenyra's hand, and he's feeding because he's providing a lot, but she's sort of pissed him off, and now so maybe they're kidnapping to try to like convince him to go over to their side or something.
Maybe.
I still think it's Ulf. Even the Corlys, because it's like Rhaenyra's not doing that much for Corlys. Corlys keeps saying like she's not doing enough for me, that he's done for her.
Yeah, maybe it's too quick for Ulf to have gone over and for Ormond to have gotten word of that and then sent a message. That probably is too much.
Yeah, someone said Ulf did get kicked like a dog, but I thought he couldn't write. I mean, maybe he himself didn't physically write it, but I think I think it really could be Ormond and him working together to send a message to Rhaenyra of like, hey, this kick dog is no longer on your side, and also your Baratheon attempt failed.
Yeah, Corlys does sort of turn against Rhaenyra in the book when she orders the arrest of Adam. He warns Adam, and then she arrests Corlys. So he defies her. He doesn't turn to green though, right?
Yeah.
Unless I'm forgetting something.
No.
I do. Yeah, Ormond did say how much he likes Corlys. I think Ormond is going to try to convince Corlys to come over to their side.
And that could still happen, but I don't know. Or
coerce him, yeah. The chat thinks that the note was about Corlys being hand. That's what they think.
We'll see. We will see.
All right.
Do you have anything else in the pictures? Just to jog my memory a bit.
Well, we talked about this sick bastard. Talked about Crispy.
He's consistent.
Sabitha's this is a perfect supporting character, like only gets 2 lines in the episode, but like has a strong presence when she does.
Yeah. With her and Torrhen, I mean, I said in my last episode review, like, welcome back Varys and Lady Olenna, of like, not quite those characters, but definitely echoes of, them being a little bit sassy and having some kind of funny, lines back and forth. I'm enjoying that.
So
every time I see her,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, every time I see her, I'm reminded that Sabitha Frey and Black Alley have something going on in the books. Like, they share a tent. So, like...
different dynamic, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Someone said they're the mean girls about Torrhen and Sabitha at the small council table. Yeah, I get that vibe.
They're both rich, is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A Frey and a Manderley, definitely.
Somebody's got to be on that council. All right. So what do we predicted for next week? Yeah, I still think they could still have Tumbleton next week, and they're just hiding it from us. But
Okay.
because I mean, usually when
I'll
they do a
take
battle scene, it's like only half at most. That's the battle.
Mm-hmm. I'll take it if they give it to us next week.
I think they're kind of very subtly leaning into the Rhaenyra the Cruel thing, and I think we very subtly saw that this episode with her saying, you know, oh, I'll watch over Helena, and Alicent saying, like, did I not warn you of what you would become and how you'd be? And then in that preview, you know, her kind of grabbing Helena's arm. I think we're starting to see these little stress cracks in Rhaenyra a bit now that, you know, everything is kind of falling apart around her. I think, you know, we'll definitely be seeing more of that in this episode.
Yeah, when she cut her finger, she had the thing where all the voices got distant, and then she just like marched right on out of there. So she was very disturbed. She looked up at Viserys' statue. Did you catch that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
she was looking at the statues of her forebears being like, you know, existential crisis a little bit.
Yeah, I hope they take their time to develop that. And next
Me too.
episode would be a great opportunity.
I feel like Tumbleton has to happen next week because the Hugh and the Ulf thing, they walked it right up to the betrayal. Like they have set that up. There's no more build up that needs to be done for that. That's ready to happen. Tumbleton's ready to happen. I still say it goes down next week. I think you're right, Estella, that there's some gray area because they didn't show it at all. But I still think it'll probably happen next week.
Well, maybe they're not showing it because, yeah, like you said, they want it to be a surprise. Like it'll kind of come out of left field of, oh, it's happening now. Like kind of catching the audience off guard a little bit for those who don't know. You know, I could see that happening.
But as an audience member, I don't care what happens to Kat, Hugh's wife. Girl,
Tim, I'm not reading that comment, but it's good to know that you're still funny. And slightly inappropriate. Alrighty. Okay, well, final call for questions, and then we'll go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, Nettles and Estella, for giving us your time, of course. Appreciate it.
woohoo! Waiting for the final questions. I think the episode was more good than bad. Like I can't even tell you like if it like that it was bad. Like if you say what was bad about it, I'll say nothing. But it definitely sets up next week. I'm excited.
Do you think there's a chance Alicent gave Helena moon tea via the soup? If she did that,
Like trying to induce something, because we do still need that Helena screaming birth scene. Something going on.
that would be a new low for Alicent if she did that. Even for her, like somehow that would be.
No, because she can't get any more. That would have been juicy, but I don't think she can get any more moon tea.
Yeah, I think you're right. She
You're right.
chugged it all. You're right. Yeah, she doesn't have it anymore. So no. There was another question. Yeah, Michael, we agree with that. Kat being upset her husband got a dragon didn't make a ton of sense. They hadn't really set that up for her to have that perspective.
It's not realistic.
Yeah. Daron, the Tumbletons, second Tumbleton, I don't think will happen. I don't think they'll combine it. They could.
Yeah.
But in the books, first Tumbleton happens, and then Hugh and Ulf set themselves up as, high on the hog, and they are having servants, and the prophecy about Hugh runs around, and Daron is turning against them, and the Caltrops conspiracy happens, and it drags on for several weeks before second Tumbleton happens. So they don't have to do second Tumbleton. They could easily axe it, but I could also see that could happen next season very easily. It depends on if they want to kill Daron and Ormond this season or keep them around for next season, I think. Yeah. Roddy the Ruin is the one that kills Ormond in the books. And Bold John Roxton is the one who kills Hugh. I could see Ormond getting killed. He's supposed to get killed in First Tumbleton. Yeah. Because that's part of the reason why it gets so chaotic, is once Ormond is dead, there's no leadership and it's unorganized. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But that doesn't mean they'll do any of that. It could all happen next week and everything hits the fan. The Daron actor, though, having seen him drop his mask that he wears around Ormond and talk to Gwaine, like that was the most compelling part of the episode for me. Very interesting. So I hope we get more with those characters. But yeah, maybe only 2 more episodes. Because Gwaine's supposed to be dead by now.
Yeah. That actor has been great. The actor playing Daron. I feel like he's been a real standout for this season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he has.
He makes me kind of root for the Greens. Like, it's like, well, I guess it wouldn't be so bad if he was king. Like, at this point, like, if right now, freeze him, no more Ormond influence. Yeah, put him on the throne.
Yeah.
Give him back the gold so he can actually run the city.
Him and Helena really doing a lot of PR to bring up the Greens this season.
Right?
Yeah.
I never thought that could happen. I never thought. Because maybe it's just because in comparison with Rhaenyra, like, she finally got it. She got the throne. And, you know, as a team Black person, I'm like, now I'm kind of bored. Like, you get the thing that you want. And it's like, okay, well, I'm just watching you blunder. So it's like, that opens up a spot for Daron.
It was cool how Gwaine, like, when he first joined Kristen's army, he was portrayed as the fancy lord who didn't know anything about the soldier's life. Now he's, like, come back, he's battle-tested, and he's the one pulling out his sword and sniffing out the plot and saving people. So that was a cool moment of growth for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that. Those little things make the characters just seem more real. It's not like we have to write a big essay about the character arc of Gwaine Hightower or whatever, but having a little bit of an arc there just, makes them seem more realistic, gives you something to sink your teeth into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, Gwaine is just moving around at just the right time to miss being butchered. Like, he was supposed to be killed in King's Landing. Then they gave him the plot with Kristen. He pieces out right there at just the right time.
Awesome. Like,
Kind of sucks.
lived.
None of Kristen's other soldiers had the choice to just peace out, but Gwaine did. Like,
Gwaine's gonna find Laenor and Essos and make it.
they're gonna adopt Helena and
Yeah.
have a chicken farm.
Yeah, and Daron, and they're just gonna have their chicken dragon farm where they raise chickens to feed their dragons.
Lots of lemon trees,
Yeah.
which grow everywhere. They're not that hard. They're not hard to grow lemon tree, guys. It's easy.
No.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's probably a good place to stop. Thank you very much again, Nettles and Estella. Appreciate y'all. Your channels are linked in the description below. Please do subscribe to their channels. Both putting out content. I've said it a couple times now, but Estella, your episode reviews are one of the ones that I actually watch. Obviously, someone like me breathes Game of Thrones all the time. Like, I can't watch everybody's video every week, but I always catch yours. I usually catch Michael's, and I watch Gray Area's videos. I like her episode breakdowns. So keep it up. You're doing great. And looking forward to what you got to say about this one. So, and I'll have the White Harbor video on probably Wednesday, maybe Thursday morning, maybe Wednesday afternoon, but that'll be like an hour of White Harbor cultural, historical analysis.
That'll be great. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Did you like the Yellow Toad?
I need to watch it. I was not home yesterday to watch it, but I will be watching it.
Yeah, just put it out yesterday. So it was fun. It was a good one. And I found a way to recycle the bad kitty Dornish line from the
Looking forward to see how you incorporate that.
I did. I skillfully incorporated.
Yes. Yes. No, it'll be great because, as you're saying, Maria is so interesting, and that whole war and plotline is so interesting. So I'd love to hear more about that history.
I should thank you, actually. At the end of your episode review video last week, you talked about Maria, and you caught a quote that I completely had missed. The fact that there's a rumor that maybe she wrote the Dornish letter before she died in the blood of Rhaenys. I had forgotten about that. And you included that at the end of your video. And I was like, oh shit, I went and recorded a little addendum that I then put on the very end of my video because I was like, I can't put it out without saying something about that.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I went on a whole journey with it actually. When I was first writing.
What happened?
What is that?
The black and white squares. It is what it is.
Anyway, I went on a whole journey where I was like, at first I thought the Yellow Toad wrote the letter. So in my intro, I'm like, and she wrote the Dornish letter. Then I got to the whole end of the essay, I'm writing and researching, and it's like, oh no, she died. She didn't write it. And so then I edited that out and was almost done the thing. And then you mentioned the quote where it's like, some people think she did write it. It's like, well, okay then.
Yeah.
Can somebody please?
Okay, it's a bot now.
Is that like a keyboard? Is that Morse code? I don't understand the spam that's being.
We're getting trolled in the chat, which means that it's time for some mods to come in. But
okay, well,
what if it's a piano sonata?
We'll never know.
The name, okay. Well,
shit posting. All right.
Yeah,
got another dose of our dragon show.
Cool. Well, appreciate y'all. The mods went to bed already. Yeah, I just said I'm bad at ending. I'm like, all right, everyone, see you later. Like 10 minutes later. 11 hours later. All right, guys. I'll catch y'all next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging with us. See ya.
Bye.